The podcast should start in like 3.
And now.
2. Okay.
Just completely cut him off.
Do a
Welcome,
big YouTube.
people.
Am I peeking? Jesus.
Actually,
Christ.
guys, we've done 3 of these now. Let's let Chris do the intro this time.
It's a coxology.
Oh shit! All right. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the podcast of the week called I Am Chris. Not part of the week called, but I am the special guest star. We have someone introduce themselves.
We have everyone.
We have everyone.
Look
We
at
do
him.
have everyone.
We got the whole
crew here, gentlemen.
Everyone. Thank you
everyone
for
is
stopping
actually.
by.
Yeah.
Including me.
Including you, who is speaking.
And now, Chris, that's all the lines he can use.
Alright, thanks for watching.
Thanks for having me. I had a great time. And subscribe.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
If I'm not mistaken, 2 things I want to say.
Continues.
First of all, I'm almost positive this is the most people we've ever had for a podcast.
Yeah, I
Either that or
believe
it's
you're correct.
tied.
Probably.
Wait.
Second thing I want to say,
Unless
and
Endgame.
unofficial, we've never said this
Yeah.
in a video, but we have a thing on our Minecraft world where it's like the college for new members to graduate if we have new members. And one of the requirements for a new member is they have to be in a Deep Sea podcast. And Dane, this is your graduation. Woo! Woo!
Yeah. Am I getting stuck with editing this?
Group finally.
Yeah, great job, Zach,
Finally.
for finally joining the group. It only took you about 5
Yeah,
years.
What do you mean? I've been
You
on
know
a
you
podcast.
created
What do you
us.
mean?
Well, isn't
How
this
many
a,
of us?
Spencer podcast.
isn't this the first
You know
time
what?
that I've been
I
on a
wanna
podcast with
leave.
Zach?
Yes.
No, he was in the last
no,
one.
I was in the last
He
one.
was.
Wait, he
Who
was
did I
in the
miss?
last
There was someone who missed both when I was here.
It was Dane was never. He wasn't in the group back then, so
Yeah,
he
that
hasn't
was-
been in the first
Oh,
2.
damn.
He was
What's
not
up,
solid
Dane?
back
I think-
then.
Is it
Hello.
possible you're thinking of Jiggles?
Oh
No,
no.
Jiggles
no.
was
He
there
was
for
sort of
reasons.
there for. He was for the first
he
one.
wasn't
was sort of
recording his
there.
audio,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is amazing to have when you're recording a podcast.
Yeah.
They're like sometimes
The
on
one
there.
thing you
Happens
can
to the best
screw
of
up.
us.
Yep.
It wasn't the best of us.
Yeah, it was
No,
quite
it
literally
was
the
a
worst
very
of us.
dark period in our lives.
Yeah.
Oh
The
boy.
dark ages of the week.
Was it though?
Oh,
I mean, it
yeah,
might have
no,
been.
that
It might
is-
be the overall dark ages. The last few fucking weeks have been my dark age,
Hey,
personally.
can they be considered ages if it's 1 year?
Yeah. Ain't fair.
I mean,
Fair.
when you say your age, you know, it reflects
Actually,
a year.
wait.
For us, it is.
That's true.
Hold on, this is not on the list of questions. I'm curious if you have this, Chris. I've noticed there's like 3 Deep Sheep fan groups that I've known. Every single one has this, where like the first year they're a group, everything sucks and is terrible. Did you guys have that?
Well, I mean, when we were a group, we weren't even really a group exactly. Like, all of season 1 of Deep Sheep was basically just me getting everyone online to do videos, and they just kind of, like, played along and had fun. It wasn't until season 2 where it was more like, all right, we're all going to try and, like, work on this together. Because part of the stipulation of doing season 2, I didn't want to do it for so long, was they came to me, mainly Camden, Spencer, and I think it was Daniel? Or it might
Wasn't
have
it
been
Robbie?
It might have been, yeah, Robbie / Pele. They probably came to me and they were like, all right, we want to do it. Like, we will help. And I was like, all right, as long as we're working as a group, then we'll do it. So, but yeah, like, I think any sort, I mean, if you look at any rock band, there's always members that don't last
The
very
growing
long
pains.
initially. It's like when you first start something, there's that honeymoon phase, and then you realize you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you're scared, and it's like, oh god, and that's where things usually fail. But then once you get into the groove of it and you figure it out, then you're moving on and things are going well for a bit.
I think our honeymoon phase was about like the day we were created.
I think our honeymoon
Instead
phase
of-
started from there till now.
Lunar, I think your
No, I
game
would
might be
Eternal.
on fucking max or something.
I would
it
say it
sounds
was
like a
after
fucking-
we finished making Wheat Sanctuary, and then we realized we had to make videos, and then we didn't like that.
Yeah.
No, it just did this in general.
And that's why this is our last video.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
dying.
Oh, I'm in the last
We're
week
giving-
call video? Hell
Yeah, we're giving the keys to Chris,
Clearly.
who has vowed to edit all the videos.
Fuck no.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll do it.
Lord,
He's
please
taking
save
over
your
Emmett's
soul.
throne.
I think
for editing
we actually made that
everything.
exact joke in the last podcast. I feel like we're gonna tread a lot of the same ground as we did in the last one. But
Probably.
Well, you
I
know,
don't-
that's
I don't
why
know- I
that's why
remember
people
that.
come here. People come here to hear the
Yeah.
same joke over and over.
Yeah,
Listen,
I need
but we
weed.
That's
do
why
guys.
I changed the formula. when it
Speaking
works.
of the
Look,
same,
if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Speaking of the same thing over and over again, I want to talk about something that I'm pretty sure we spoke about in the last one.
You're gonna ask him if he's still a virgin, aren't you?
If you think I remember what we talked about last time 2 fucking years ago, then you're wrong.
Well, actually, that's another point, right? Is we've done these like every 2 years, and like in the 2 years, it's been like in a different era of both the Weekle and Deep Sheep each time. Like in the first one was in like early 2018, and that was in the midst of season 2, and we all sucked ass, like all of us. And,
We were little babies.
Yeah, we were little babies. What I hate about that podcast, right, is if you
Didn't even
skip.
have Premiere.
If you if you skip to any point in that podcast, it's the Chris podcast, and you skip to any point, any random point, odds are you do not hear Chris talking.
Talk more, Chris. Talk
yeah,
right now.
loudly.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Why wasn't I fucking talking that fucking podcast fucking...
All right,
Ow.
Did I do it?
Alright, he's talking more than
Got
the
some lines.
podcast. Now we're good.
There we go.
Alright,
We're getting
but
our
yeah.
money's worth, guys. Come
like
on, keep it up.
the second one. was
Money? Am
like,
I getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Straight from
no,
Zach, actually.
I heard I
Already-
was getting... Zach.
Straight out
Listen,
of his
Zach,
pockets.
don't you actually have something that's
don't-
going on?
Zach.
You don't want my money. They're pounds, mate. I can't pay you in pounds.
I mean, me, Del, and Dane have been. Well, we did pay you for Patreon.
Yo, that
Bill,
sounds
but-
like a band. Me, Del, and Dane. Damn.
Yo.
Dane.
Did too fuck.
Or like a TV show, like a little sitcom.
MDD.
MDD.
D&D, Game of Thrones, everybody.
DMD.
DMD.
That sounds like a drug.
It's because it's one away from DMT, so you know it.
Oh.
Just kind of
Yo,
But
you
yeah,
got that
anyways,
DMD, man.
the second Chris podcast, that was in late 2020. We had done our series. Chris was on like the edge of doing his massive Deep Sheep little splurge, and here we are now, and it's all over.
Here,
We're all
Yeah,
dead.
we're all,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all old people now. God damn.
Del has a long white beard.
Just in
Chris
time.
Well-
has a cane.
I no longer have kidneys.
Oh yeah,
That's
right.
My
that's
nuts
true.
are sagging.
I just
We
don't.
lost
It's
them
true.
both?
Yeah, both of them fucking exploded on me, basically.
Yeah, I stole them
Damn.
from him.
How you
Sucks,
living?
but
That's not even a joke, by the way.
I'm doing better
They were
now.
delicious.
For like the last 3 months, it
even
was
living?
fucking rough, but I
Damn.
finally got to shower the other day
You
after 3 months.
Oh
It
my.
finally
For context, real
bookended.
quick,
It was
Lunar
the
has been
last
dealing
thing I
with
did
health
before
issues over
before
the last
the.
like
Oh,
2 or
dude,
3 months.
there's so many voices right now.
It's like there's 8 of
Voices
us.
in my,
Dude,
There's
voices
8
in
of
my head.
us.
Voices in my
I
head.
can't fucking count.
This reminds me of like the couple times Deep Sheep did a podcast with like 8 people. It's usually a mess.
God.
Yep.
When did you do a podcast with 8 people?
The number 12
the
and Daniel
media.
left. A couple of the reviews for like Infinity War and like one of the Star Wars podcasts. I think we had a good amount of people.
Yeah, that
And the
that,
live
that sounds
action
about
one.
right.
And the live action one. Yeah, there was 8 of us.
Yeah, and there's that one picture of everybody laughing at the screen, and Alex is off to the side looking depressed.
Classic.
Classic.
But yeah,
we both just did.
Hey, listen,
And that
guys.
was when we fell in love.
Hey, listen. We gotta ask this man some questions, all right?
Oh yeah, we have.
Yeah,
this
We
is
got some
not an
questions. That's the whole.
interrogation,
That's
Oh,
like
you
the whole
taking
thing.
charge.
I'm taking charge right now, you fucking punks. Listen. Why don't we start with the man without kidneys, Lunar? Why don't you ask him a question?
Okay.
Daredevil,
That
the
was-
man without fear. Lunar, the man
The
without
one-
kidneys.
I guess since like it's been a bit, is there any projects you've scrapped like since your last one? Like anything you've done that you just have potentially good or bad feelings about? I think you just scrapped.
any projects I've
2020
scrapped?
now.
Things have really slowed down for me. I think since the podcast, because I mean, I just kind of came to a slow realization over the last couple years that content creation on YouTube just is no longer a thing I really want to do. It's something that I did since I was a kid, and I hit success when I was a kid, so I just kind of kept following that because I felt like that's what I was supposed to do in a weird way. But the landscape of YouTube changed, content creation changed, and I just never really like chasing trends or following what everyone else is doing. I like to stick to my own thing. So, just kind of slowly realizing, like, nah, I kind of just want to focus on myself and not really, grind and make all these videos and upload constantly. Like that splurge that I did for Deep Sheep, that was like my last hurrah, where I was like, okay, I'm gonna. Well, no, I guess I did the fucking How Scary channel early this year. That was another one where I just went on a craze of making content, but just kind of realized like, yeah, it's not really what I want to do. It doesn't bring me the happiness that I want it to. And then I guess not even scrapped, but just more of projects that I started and was working on and then just ended up stopping. Spartan Super Soldier, I did episodes 9, 10, and 11 in my storytelling versions, and I actually filmed 12 back then, and that was like a year ago now, which is crazy. And I'm like toying around with the idea of editing it and seeing if I want to keep doing it, but you know, I guess right now I'm just like actually trying to focus on myself because I'm not good at that.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good place to be. Just like you know what you want. Even if you don't, you just look for what you want to be doing, and just continue to move on. And honestly, it's good for you to know that might not want to be what you pursue. So.
Yeah, thank you. And you know, people will always ask, when is this thing coming out? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? And it's like you feel bad that you're not making content that they want, but like in the end, it is your life. Like you gotta do what makes you happy and what works for you. And if you know you're making this content and you feel like it's not worth it and it's not giving you the joy that you wanted, then it doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. Just because so many other people are doing it doesn't mean you have to.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like you want to put yourself first. And that's one thing I've had to realize this year is like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, all of us here are similar in the fact that we grew up with the birth of YouTube, the birth of, you know, we watched video games turn from, to me, the 2000s were the greatest decade for video games. The most, like, just classic, awesome franchises were started then. And then by the time you reach the 2020s, everything is so mainstreamified. Every industry just seems like it's falling apart. And it's like, we all grew up on the internet. We grew up in the wild west of the internet. And now, 2022, almost 2023, shit's different. And I think we're now realizing, like, all right, maybe we don't vibe with this new landscape, and we haven't really focused on ourselves this whole time.
Yeah.
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 It's going to be a deep podcast.
Yeah. Did not mean to drag that into that territory immediately, but it's kind of good to.
It's kind of a good starting point, I guess.
So
Yeah.
It's a podcast.
I feel satisfied.
Dude,
I
shout
feel
out to us
satisfied.
for being so silent.
Lunar, you had did you have a second question, or did you already say it?
Oh, the second. The second one was already answered. It was just like.
It kind of got answered with that first one.
Yeah, which is good enough for me.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck you. Anyone else want to pass around the question? I'm gonna fucking just
Who's
tap.
next?
MT, you're
I'm gonna
next on the
tap.
dock.
Yeah, MT, you're next on the list.
Take it away, Monster Man.
Just gonna smack you with that fucking thing now.
All right. Okay,
Take the momentum and run with it, fucker.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Ask your question, Emmett.
Blast through that drive-through, boy. Come on.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
How much of our version of your like Minecraft series called Wheat Sanctuary? How many of those have you seen that you can remember? Do you remember anything from it? Have you seen any of it?
I watched pieces of it back in the day. I do not remember much.
Damn it.
All right.
It is
All right,
an
all right.
acid trip, I won't lie.
Fair.
Well,
fair.
If it makes you feel any better, I also haven't watched Deep Sheep since like 2020.
Oh.
That sounds alright.
I
That's
do remember
understandable.
you don't like watching your own content, or at least you made that comment at some point in the past, so that's understandable.
When did I say that? Because
I think
It was
Dane,
either
I think
you or
you're
am I
thinking
thinking
about
of somebody else?
You're thinking, okay, you might be thinking of Robbie, first of all. Second of all, I think you also might be thinking of how he doesn't watch podcasts because he edits them.
oh yeah, I don't watch podcasts. I don't do that.
It could partially
All
be
right.
I'm
that.
just not a podcast guy.
What's again? This is going to be limiting because you don't remember. But what is your favorite We Cult video?
What is my favorite what?
We Cult video.
We Cult video?
Yeah.
This one.
This one, yeah.
Let me go to the channel.
Oh,
Let's see.
Are you just gonna pick one at random?
No, I'm like trying to remember shit.
Yeah, he doesn't remember Jack
Are
Peters.
you just gonna pick one at random? Fucking bitches. I don't know what that is, but that sounds cool.
I'm fucking scrolling. I'm scrolling, bro.
Fucking
Chris has bad luck with pets. That'd be
fucking demon noise. That's a great video.
Our most
Okay.
viewed video, yes.
If it's got 70,000 views, it's a good video.
It gotta be worth something. You know?
It's 3 seconds long.
What about Deep Sheep intro comparison? That's a great one.
While I don't have favorites, I'm just gonna name ones that I see that I remember making me laugh. MT versus Alex screaming contest. That one
classic.
I thought was pretty funny. How the Weak Cult came to be, I think, was really cool because
That was a
that
fire
like
one.
yeah, that one's really cool because that's like so unique. Like like Deep Sheep didn't just like form exactly. It was just like, I don't know, we all kind of hang out. Yeah, fuck it, let's just kind of add a name, whatever. But then like you guys like, and also that's just like inspiring to me because it's like, oh shit, like Deep Sheep kind of led to something. It led to a group of people like actually coming together and being friends and doing this. And the fact that you guys all still like seem to hang out to this day and have this good rapport with each other, it's really cool. So I remembered that
we all hate
video.
each other.
You all
Fucking hate it. Yeah.
It's like a
We despise each other.
it's like a terrible marriage.
I think that
But
how
we're
the
only
Weak Cult,
together for the kids.
how the Weak Cult came to be. I remembered really liking that video.
It's a great video.
It's a good thing to know that we peaked at our first video.
That's still the only reason
Hey, I'm
here.
down for it.
I mean, some
Alright, I have
bands
one more,
peak.
right? Oh yeah,
on
what?
their first
You,
album.
you guys didn't make a podcast about it. I've never heard a video of you talking about it. What did you think of Rise of Skywalker?
Oh my fucking god.
Are we
Pull up a chair, boys.
are we
That's-
gonna start this right now? Because I really don't want to do
I'm
this.
in the. I'm here.
I
You
thought
guys
we
can-
never wanted to talk about Star Wars.
Dell is insane when it comes to like his opinions
Just-
regarding
just-
Star Wars.
His opinion's the end.
that movie.
Well, I guess you could generalize that, yeah.
That was one of the few times I left a movie theater and I knew right away I did not like that movie. Like I left, I was like, that was bad. I really did not like that.
Yeah, it was it's ass.
What was your like theater experience for that? Like, was it just like plain, like you just went and sat down and saw it and left?
I forget it. It was like a little bit later on after it come out. Like it wasn't opening weekend or anything, and that just reflected my excitement for the movie because I saw Force Awakens midnight release. You know, I was super excited for that. And then Last Jedi, saw it like opening day, whatever. And then this one I saw like several weeks after. I didn't give a fuck. And I just remembered, because the whole time I was rolling my eyes. I was just like, oh my fucking god, this is so stupid. And I do remember when Rey and Ben kissed. I heard like several like in the audience, like sort of this weird like like people were not having it.
Yeah, I remember I left the movie kind of liking it just because like I went with a bunch of my friends and like we were all like joking during the movie, and I remember there was this one part during like the final battle where it's like this guy's on the bridge of a Star Destroyer, and then it blows up, and you see his body like kind of propulsed forward a little bit before he dies, and like we all just exploded laughing into the theater, and like everybody could fucking hear us. And so I remember leaving that, and I was like, I think it was good. Like Kylo Ren died like 6 fucking times, but like like. It was weird, but as each day that passed afterwards, like that was way bad. That was way worse.
That was shit.
My
The thing you
experience
said
with
about like you saw it weeks after. My whole family we would always see the each of those 3 movies when they came out, and I just remember we were so excited to see Episode 8. But then we weren't a huge fan of it, and so then I distinctly remember my brother going like, "Guys, we're seeing Star Wars again tomorrow," and me and my dad just both went, "Yeah."
Yep.
I can absolutely sympathize with the saw it I remember specifically seeing The Force Awakens in a very special way where it was not even Christmas, it was New Year's Eve. We were down at fucking Navy Pier in Chicago seeing that at midnight. It was that was an experience. The second one,
magical movie. Like,
yeah.
Oh, well, that was the best audience experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
Everyone was ape shit during that
it was
movie.
so fucking lit. I was right behind a dude in full Darth Maul costume when I went to see that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was so dope.
I just remember after I saw that movie, I just had the most depressing shit of my life after that.
A depressing shit? Wait, a
Yeah,
shit that
like
was depressing?
because I was like after
Shit
the
came out
movie, I
funny
left
itself.
That boy was
I left the
crying on the
theater.
toilet.
I left the theater, but I
Like,
had to
Did you
wait.
shut up about knives?
Like
Can we-
shit
can-
is
Oh,
painful
I didn't even realize.
sometimes, but depressing.
No. It was like I left the theater. I had to wait like 30 minutes because my mom was picking me up, and it was raining too. It's really fucking depressing.
That is depressing.
And I just left, and
Fox
my
and the
mom was
Hound
like,
bullshit
my
going
mom.
on.
I remember my mom going like, "Oh, how was the movie?" And I just said like, "Honestly, mom, it was just shit." And then like the entire like way home, I just didn't say anything because I just.
Wait,
It was
which
some
one?
fucking ass, bro.
Damn.
With the last one.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Yeah.
I thought you were
And
talking
then
about
I
That
went
sounds,
home.
that
Yeah, I
sounds
thought
like
you were talking about
exactly the
Force Awakens. I was
fucking
like,
mood
I didn't know
for
many
that.
people that left Force Awakens not liking it. Like, yeah,
And I went home.
over the years
I
we
went-
see the flaws, but when you first
Yeah.
saw it, it was
People
exciting.
were cheering, and he walked out into the rain and just sat down and took a shit on the ground.
But there was only
No,
rain above
I
him.
went home.
It wasn't raining anywhere else because
It's
he
like
was
the Truman
depressed.
Show.
Yeah, he had a cloud.
Yeah.
Just
No.
But, like,
I went
know what
home
you guys are
and I took a
thinking.
shit, and it was really depressing.
I know what you guys are thinking. What does Del think?
I actually was
of the Last Jedi.
You know,
No, because
he does
I have
Del.
really strong opinions about Star Wars, and
I would love
Going
to
into the
not
last-
talk about Star Wars.
going
Aw,
into
I
the
want
Rise
to
of
watch
yeah,
Star
I'm
Wars.
just mentioning the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay,
so
okay.
I went
Let's
into
not
it.
talk about the Last
with-
Jedi.
Yeah, let's not. I agree. So I went with two friends, and I remember going in. I was like, I didn't have any expectations. So when I went in, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow, and just like try to analyze it on the spot. And when I walked out, I was like, that was all right. That wasn't bad. And then I just like slowly through the next days, I was just like, that is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. Even worse than the fucking movie about an albino child in Africa that is sent to a boarding school and nothing happens for like an hour, and I hated it.
What movie are you fucking
This turned into
talking
a
about?
review of a different movie.
Yeah, trauma. Okay.
The movie's called Trauma. That's fun.
Good
No,
to
it's,
know.
hold on. I'll find what the movie is called.
Star Wars
It's
Episode
really
10,
terrible.
Trauma.
You don't remember the name of the worst movie you've ever seen?
It's
No,
blocked
the
out.
worst
It
movie
was-
I've ever seen is Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
So, Dane, yours
Wait.
That was the
wait,
ugliest fucking laugh I've
No,
ever had.
Zach wants
Wait,
to say something.
Okay, no one's stopping him.
It's not about knives this time, I promise. Okay, no. I just wanted to bring up Star Wars one more time. It was just no, that's all right. So basically, me and my dad went to go see Rise of Skywalker, and you guys talking about like your theatre experience and all that, and it reminded me of when I went to go see with my dad. And just to clarify something, we don't really get to like go out often because he's got a wife, he's got like 5 children, including me, and yeah, he doesn't get to go out often. And he loves Star Wars, and we both do. We always talk about it all the time. And when we went, I remember giggling in the theatre just at everything that film had to offer. And I just remember like the glitter in his eyes, seeing like, you know, like the theme song come on and all the characters coming back. And then we went to go see I forgot what the next film's called after that, but
Trauma.
we don't have to
Jedi.
talk about it. Yeah, that's the one. We walked out the theatre and were just like, what the fuck did they do? How the fuck did they mess that up? They were
Yeah.
so promising, and we didn't even like bother watching the last one. We just watched it at home by ourselves. Yeah, I know, yeah.
That was the not give a fuck movie because like no one gave a fuck.
It was.
Oh yeah.
And
well,
it's-
yeah, it was gonna be a mess no matter what. And it's so
Yeah.
funny because the fact that we're talking about Rise of Skywalker right now, because literally earlier today I was just like remembering somehow Palpatine returned. That's the line
Yeah,
of
that was
dialogue that they
that was
chose.
a fucking choice.
Because first of all, when I heard the rumors that Palpatine was gonna be the villain, I immediately was like, "That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. I hope that's not it." And then the opening crawl begins with "The dead speak," and I went, "Oh fuck, this is gonna be a mess."
No, but what
I thought he
pisses
was
me
gonna
off?
be a ghost.
What pisses me
I
off
don't
the
know why
most
they-
about
That would have been a better choice.
No, let
Yes.
Egg speak.
Or you could
What-
say
what-
the Phantom Menace.
what pisses me
Okay, I'm done.
what pisses me off the most about that is that like Palpatine returning, like Luke Skywalker whole thing doesn't make this. It's
matter.
like it
The
doesn't
original
matter
trilogy
anymore.
sucks. It doesn't-
Vader's
It doesn't
Vader's
matter.
whole redemption doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
It was
it's
bad.
it's a problem that a lot of studios are doing nowadays with all these belated sequels is that they tarnish the past characters, the legacy characters. They're older now, so they show up, but really the main characters are these new young hip people, and then the hip people are put into the spotlight and they're able to pass any test that they have, and meanwhile the older people slowly die off and are given terrible storylines, and then eventually their storylines in the past don't matter anymore because really it was all leading to this now, and that's what pisses all these fan bases off. It's like, we loved those movies and now you're making it sound like they didn't matter.
It
surprisingly-
is telling you the story that you care about does not matter.
Yeah, surprisingly, the best franchise at bringing back, like, the best attempt at bringing back a franchise to, like, the modern day with new characters and it actually being good is fucking Karate Kid with Cobra Kai. Like, somehow they were the ones to do it good. Like, it's, like, not, like, a cinematic masterpiece, but it's just, like, it's kind of like wrestling almost, like, or, like, any sort of sport. You're like, oh, shit, like, it's just, like, you sit down, you don't think. Like, you just
Spectacle.
like a caveman. Yeah,
But it doesn't
like,
ruin the past. That's the
Yeah.
big selling point. It doesn't ruin the.
it doesn't
previous
ruin the.
movies.
And in fact,
Yeah.
it celebrates it like a lot
Yep.
in it. And there's like
That's-
deep tributes and stuff. And there's also like 5-minute long ads for Olive Garden in the script. But like
You weren't lying about the breadsticks.
exactly. But yeah. So Dane, I think you had some questions on the doc because I can read that you have questions on the doc.
Yes,
I love that you guys have a doc.
Dane, are you adding
thought we
questions
were-
We
right
are
now?
No, I'm adding
organized.
information regarding the question.
We're organized enough. Not
Go
super.
ahead, main man, Dane,
I mean,
man.
this doc was made in April. Like,
It's been around for a
April,
hot minute.
Jesus.
yeah, that was when you were going
Yeah.
crazy on your channel, and we were like, well, he's active, we might do it. And then I was like, guys, we're gonna do a podcast with Chris. Are you available this day? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask him, and then I forgot, and then we never did it.
You know, it's really funny because we have literally been saying for months, like, if we do a third Chris podcast, we need to make sure that we have questions. And so it's like, guys, we got to write down questions. And then we made the doc and we wrote barely any questions, and I feel like an idiot.
I mean, we
Dane,
don't.
ask your
It's
question.
impressive.
Too many.
I mean, looking at the doc, me and Luck have like, I think, what is that, 11, 12 questions combined between the two
I
of
can
us.
see about 78.
Yeah, 78 is more
Yeah,
accurate.
there's
Dude, I
actually
could do rapid
it's-
fire answers. I could do it. I
That,
don't
that
have
would
to
be
give.
fantastic.
I don't
Would
have
you-
to give essay long answers each time.
I mean, both are
No,
good.
No,
Some
no,
are good.
That's for
No, you
YouTube
do.
essays.
Some are good.
We're making this
Some are
3-hour
good.
podcast.
See,
now,
Star Wars,
just
some are
from
good.
that.
You
Get
know,
the aspirin.
So
Yeah,
Star
some
Wars
are
is
good.
the most summer good franchise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
God,
speaking of
what happened
franchise,
to it?
actually, that reminded me. This isn't on the doc. And speaking of summer good franchises, and how Halo has become a summer good franchise, how do you feel that you were in that one Halo video that got like a shit ton of views? That
Well,
Probe
you
had?
know, it's like really random whenever I'll pop up. Like I was in Pyrocynical's videos like several years ago, and I had never fucking heard of him ever. And then
I remember this.
yeah,
Oh,
I like something from Zombie Apocalypse, I think, was in one
Yeah,
of
it
his
was.
videos.
It was. Yeah.
And it's always kind of random when like, oh yeah, I guess like I'm on the internet and people know about me outside of like the bubble or whatever. And like
Yeah.
I pop into stuff, but also like I never hear of these channels. I don't know who they are. Like I'm just like, oh okay. The craziest one to me was Jacksepticeye watching Don't Look
Oh,
Away.
yeah,
that
that's
was really cool. Because
That
like,
is
he
cool.
is one of the big YouTubers that of course I've heard about. So I was just like, oh that's fucking cool. But yeah,
It's
random Halo, me just complaining about Master Chief Collection. That's so funny that popped in there. Oh, and then my favorite one actually, Smosh Games used footage from Doritos Crash Course, a shitty ass video that I recorded on a fucking camcorder, and that was in that video.
What
It's
the
hilarious. Yeah, it's
listen.
fun-
You're
yeah.
part of the zeitgeist. It's great.
Yeah.
I just love the video that like it's like okay, you know, like the algorithm's not been Chris's friend for a long time. Like the last video that got like an absolute shit ton of views was Don't Look Away, and that was a long time ago. What's like his next appearance in like a 1 million view video? And it's some random ass thing of you complaining about the Master Chief Collection, and like I hadn't seen that video before until I saw that in the Crobecat video. And I was like, I'm gonna find that, and I like went to your channel, I watched it, and I just love how it ends. You get disconnected again. You go, what the fuck, and you just throw the controller on the ground. Like,
Yeah. I got pissed.
Oh.
And it's funny too because that video is a time capsule now. Like people
I
who
know.
play Master Chief Collection now, they don't realize how ass
Yeah.
fucked it was at launch. And that
I've been
video
playing it recently.
proves
It's
it.
really fire. Like,
It's fire.
they've-
It's amazing.
They've gotten it
just
really
took 'em
good.
It just took several years for them to make it work.
There was something. I've been listening to a lot of older Deep Sheep late nights, actually, that's another thing that's not on the doc that I was gonna. Oh, it is on the doc, but like.
Is it?
I don't know, but I was listening to late nights, like older Deep Sheep late nights, because I remember there was a thing. I don't know when it was, but there was a thing. Someone said or you said where it was like giving titles to the untitled late nights or whatever, and then that's what the first 2 late nights they got titled by somebody else, and I was like, what would the rest be? I've never listened to like the first 10, so I'll just do that. And I was listening to them, and there was one. It is sort of like a time capsule where it's like Spencer just randomly in the middle of a conversation, he just brought up this irrelevant thing. He was like, if Halo 5 gets added to the Master Chief Collection, I think I'm gonna rip my balls off. Like, it's just like, like you guys were talking about something completely different, and he just threw that out.
That sounds about right.
That sounds Spencer. Yeah. They haven't done it yet, so his balls survive.
Yep.
There may be a future
still
Maples,
survive.
but
Not for long.
I mean, that would be like.
Oh god.
I think Halo 5 is the only one that you can't play like on Steam now, at least, because Halo Infinite's on Steam, and the Master Chief Collection's on Steam. So they really just let Halo 5 like fuck off. Like.
Oh yeah. They knew.
Yeah, they knew to keep that shit away.
Halo 5 is like the only one. That's the game that lost me. I'll be honest.
Yep. Yeah.
I remember like even as a kid, like when with Halo, like it wasn't a game that like I played a lot. Like I would play sometimes, but it was mainly me like watching my siblings play it, like through the campaigns and stuff. And like that was because I was like too young to actually like play a game. But I was like that was my enjoyment of that franchise. And I remember when Halo 4 came out, we got so like lit, like we were like, oh fuck, 2 fucking discs, let's go! And like we were putting the discs in, and then fucking like. We played through it, and I remember we were like, I mean, that was okay. And then like Halo 5 came out, and like I was like, I saw the trailer, and I was like, that trailer kind of looked cool. And then I went to my brother, and I was like, are we gonna get that? And he was like, no.
The resigned.
So, Dane, your questions?
Oh yeah, Dan, you had questions.
Yang.
Yes, yes, I do. All right, I'm gonna kind of go through these pretty quickly.
You got questions, by the way.
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that.
Wait, Dane, you have questions?
No, I don't.
Oh my
You
goodness,
don't.
Dane.
Then what are they all? What are they all
All
talking
right, thanks for
about?
listening, everybody.
We're lying
It's
to
been a
you.
good one.
Dane does not get.
I didn't even get to my questions.
Oh no.
All right.
Ah, who cares?
Hey, can we actually talk about? Can we talk about what Zach did with his questions?
Oh yeah. I'm
We'll
sorry.
do that when we get to
briefly?
Zach's questions.
Okay.
All right. So the first question I have up, you kind of answered a little earlier, but I just want to bring it back up again in case there's just anything like further context-wise we want to know. But it was just regarding the pause of your Patreon and then content. But like I said, you kind of answered that, but I just didn't know if there was anything you wanted to elaborate more on.
Yeah, I mean, I paused the Patreon because I'm not actively making content at the moment, so that just makes sense. I think it was
Take my money.
because my whole sort of last year of making these horror short films, I went through a lot of like just mental battlefields, I guess, because Sweet Dreams was the first time I'd really done a film in a while on my own. So it was like a big like, all right, let's just fucking do it. And I did it, and it got pretty good views, and I felt like this boost again. And it was like, all right, maybe I could start doing this regularly. Maybe I could start just making like horror films, and this could be my new thing. And that's what happens to me is when I get excited, I go running off the rails. So We're Not Safe Here. I then made that one, and that one ended up being a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. And it was a big challenge, but I was proud of it. And then it got no views, and that was heartbreaking. And I was like, fuck, oh, now I don't know. And then it was a come down. I was like, oh, no, I don't know if I want to do this now. I had all these plans, and now it's not going to work. And blah, 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 blah. But I was really happy that people were pointing out I was getting better at making films. That felt good. So I was like, I'm going to make another one. I'm just going to see what I can do. And once again, made a film that was way harder than I thought it would. But I finished it. And as I was finishing it, I knew I was going to take a break after this because it's exhausting. It takes a lot out of me to make these films, and I pushed myself to my limit with what I am capable of right now with the resources I have, the money that I am able to spend with Abby's Monster. And that was released. It didn't get views, but that's fine because that's not what I was looking for that time. And I was just happy to complete it. So now I'm at a place where I want to work on myself and work on other people's sets and just try and network. And once I make another film, I want to be in a different place, so that way I can expand beyond what I've done with these previous films.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So, I personally have because this was the thing that I was going to mention. Didn't put it on the list. Did want to bring it up. I have previously actually like last year, before all the fucking kidney shit, I was actually working on a film set for a film that's not yet released, and I don't know if I can talk about it fully, but I'm just going to mention. Actually got to work on a film set, and it was an experience. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Didn't say it's bad.
It was interesting.
What was the size of the set?
And what was your
It was on my university's campus. But it was mostly contained within one of the school buildings. Though it did there were shots that were further off, like other places within the campus.
Gotcha. Cast and crew size, like 8, 10, 15.
Crew size about like 25.
Okay,
Cast size was about like 8. I want to say.
25 for crews pretty big. I mean, I biggest I've gone is like 13 for my films. So 25 is a good number.
Yeah, I was specifically interning, so it was a lot of what's it? I'm looking for the term. Where you stand, make sure that no one interrupts the shooting. You know what I'm talking about.
Just like a lookout or like,
Yeah,
like,
basically. That was mostly what I was doing. But
Looky Lunar.
Looky Lunar.
Lucky Lunar.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I mean, Chris has been wanting to be intimate this whole podcast. If we being real here.
but
I like being intimate.
Welcome
Just
to
get real
ASMR podcast.
Wait, is this one of those sissy hypnosis
I need-
ASMR
I
sites?
need-
Why do you sound excited?
I have abs. That was absolutely excitement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doe was excited, but not
Yeah,
not
he
for the
really
reason
could
you
not
might
contain
think.
himself. You're right, Leonard.
You're right.
You're all
Hot dog.
Donate to my GoFundMe now.
Oh yeah.
I already
Oh
did
yeah.
that.
Everyone in the universe donate to Sax GoFundMe.
Even aliens? They don't even
Yep,
have a
everyone.
currency.
Yep, absolutely everyone. Oh wait,
No,
out of
MT
context, no one's gonna know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we
It's
donate
all
in
fucking
dollars?
donate to
We are
us.
not breaking into an ad break for your GoFundMe. I'm
Right, well this video is sponsored by me.
Just cut out all
Me,
the
God
Just
himself.
one long.
I'm
Just cutting this whole
broke.
section out.
I need money.
You know what, guys? My Venmo will be in the description if
Okay,
anybody
Dane.
wants to.
Okay, Dane,
Alright,
listen
yes.
to me, Dane. Earlier, Chris said he could fast fire your questions. The fact that we have only gotten one done, we should probably. That's fine.
Yeah,
Holy
if you want
fuck,
rap,
this is 40 minutes.
Holy shit.
are we rapid
Alright,
fire? I
alright,
could
yeah.
rapid fire.
Let's
Rapid
rapid
fire,
the
Dave.
fuck out of the fire.
All right,
the fuck?
Chris. I'm gonna skip some of the questions on here so we can get to the next
Oh, this is
person.
a
That's
real
very
rapid
rapid fire. I'm
I'm limiting it to 2 questions out of the 5 or 6 that I have. Anyways, on the subreddit, you mentioned that you have a new cat, so I was just curious. I wanted to hear a little more about that.
Oh yeah, I got a new cat. Oh, it's gonna be hard for me to rapid fire because I fucking love this cat.
Fuck yeah, cat.
Fucking.
What's his
Alright,
name?
here. I'll turn on my Leo.
Oh. Oh shit,
Oh,
he's in Cyberpunk.
The audience can't see it.
Yeah.
Someone take a screenshot so at least they can pretend like they.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
editor's
like
note
shit.
here. Add a screenshot.
Don't worry.
later
Who is the editor for this?
I look like even
This
more
is
shit.
Leo. Oh my god, that
Oh.
looks How do I fix it? How do I get rid of this thing? Yeah.
I mean, we saw him for a second. You just hold it up
Yeah.
really fast.
on. It was
Change
it was an
video
orange
background.
tag, That's what we
Here
saw.
we go. Change background. Yeah, there we go.
There we
This
go.
is Leo.
Okay.
Oh.
Screenshot
Yeah.
taken. There
He's
you
Oh my
go,
God,
audience.
He's a big furry orange cat. and he's
Yo,
wonderful. He's my little
I've
lion.
got
He's
one.
adorable. He's the friendliest fucking cat ever. He's so nice, and I love it. I'm just so happy.
I love orange cats. They have they're so dumb in the best way possible. Like they're great.
My boy is strong. My boy is smart. Because here's his story, right? So So he's 6 years old. He had a family for like 5 years, and then they moved, and the owner's son was going to take care of him, but kicked him out on the street. And he was living on the street for a year on his own. And then he ended up getting picked up by foster in October this year, and then I adopted him in December. And so this poor boy has had to survive on his own. He grew up in the streets. He is a street dog. He is a
Thug.
hunter, he is a predator, and he is also the nicest cat ever, and I love it.
The best combination of things.
Street rats
Fuck yeah.
go on. Not that. Dane, next question.
Rapid fire.
You have to ask question number 4. You have to. We can just do it really fast.
1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna ask this one only on behalf of Dell because I think he would like an answer for
I
this.
can hear his ambience.
And he's already getting prepared. All right.
Coming?
Yes, he
We're
is.
about to hear.
You thought it
why.
was bad when the sissy hypnosis got mentioned.
All right, Chris. Do you
Yes.
believe goblins are real?
Goblins. This was the important one.
This is for Dell.
Just say
I'm asking
yes
on
and
behalf
no one will
of
get
Dell.
hurt.
Probably not.
You better not mention a knife.
No, listen. I have proof.
Chris,
I have
you're not
proof.
supposed to
It's in my
Yes.
alarm.
You have proof? This is the first I'm hearing of it.
So that
I
no
need
one
to know
is,
your proof.
Thoroughly confused. This is because Video Game Donkey made a video called "Goblins Are Real," in which he says that goblins are real 30 times.
Dell's convinced.
And Dell.
No, you only said it like 5 times.
Listen, I know that you counted. I know
Listen,
that you
clarifying it does not help.
Well, what
So-
defines a goblin exactly? Like, they live underground, they're like weird.
Why are we
they-
even asking this? We have Ed as a friend. He's the
Say
most evidence you'll ever
X-
need.
I'm right here, guys. Come on.
Hey, do your call.
I can't because I might wake Mama Goblin up. And then,
Yeah,
It's
the
quite-
nest is hibernating right now.
Ass.
So, rapid fire. Anybody?
Yeah,
Oh,
goblins.
oh, I'm gonna
so-
throw it to you now, Luck, because you're up next on the,
Oh
the
yeah.
doc.
Oh yeah.
You gotta turn your camera on for this one.
Do I?
Do
Number
you?
1.
Do we want to add
Okay,
that
here
to-
I'll say that I'm begging on my knees. Okay, Chris, I'm begging on my knees right
Nah, I want to see it.
now.
Fucking
That's
shit.
rough,
All right.
buddy. But
add a video in post production.
yeah, I'll add it in.
We'll fix it in
post-production. This will
Yeah,
maybe
yes,
Chris will
my
watch a
son.
Weekle video because of this. But fucking what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so there was a podcast that Deep Sheep did, as they tend to do. In that podcast, which was why there won't be a season 3, you guys talked about, and we also heard about this before that podcast because the Weekle, we're exclusive guys, as you know. Spencer was in a call with us at one point, and he told us way before that podcast came out about the unused season 3 games, such as the Camden games, great name, and he in that podcast you guys talk about 2 games in specific that I really want to know more about, because I remember you also in another podcast, but I'm really not getting to the point, but. In another podcast you spoke about after season 2 doing tutorials for certain games on the world and just making that a series, which of course never happened. I really want to know more about how musical pairs and Mario Party worked and what they were structured as, because those sounded fire, especially musical pairs, that sounded really cool.
Yeah, so yeah, musical pairs was basically 2-player musical squares, but also those squares inside of the arena, the center of them had a 2x2 square that was a different color. And so that added more variety of you couldn't really pinpoint where your objects would land. Because before you could kind of just hang out in a certain corner and chances are you would land on a good one or whatever. But then with those extra squares, it would make it more difficult. And then also just because you're a duo, you're working together and you're fighting, and there's just more strategy involved with that. My favorite thing, though, we had a few squares that you would land on that would really shake up the game, you now change teams. So now you're
That's
actually
what really excited
Yeah.
me about that.
yeah, you're switching to someone else's team now, and it's like, oh shit! So just because you're paired up with someone early on doesn't mean that then you'll win in the end. And I think we also maybe were toying around with like you actually just get added to another team, so then there will be a team of 3 and then one person on their own, and just batshit insane stuff, you know, because that's what made Musical Squares fun, is that, you know, it wasn't always over. Like, you thought, oh, it's
Yeah.
over, but then, like, something clutch could happen, and basically Musical Pairs would be a more exciting version of that.
That's just a great Musical Squares. Like, we built that on our world. I think it was actually this year, but it feels like it was 6 years ago. But like, we played that a couple times, and like that's just a fun ass game. Like,
Yeah, yep.
it's just like it's one of the ones that's like you can just like be like, yeah, let's just play it. Like it doesn't really need any setup, really.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yep,
And
exactly.
You just play it and it goes. Like
Yeah,
What's
easy to
better-
learn. Yeah, it's very fun. Shout out to Camden for inventing that game when he was like 13 or whatever.
Yeah. Shout out to Camden. He's actually a member of Deep Sheep. For all of the viewers who don't know what Deep Sheep is, I know there's a
Yeah.
lot. Link in the description to his rateyourmusic.com page.
They
and-
really need
We're-
to support
no,
stars to
link
be
to his
nice.
letterbox. He uses that.
Does he?
Oh shit.
They're letterbox
Alright.
people, yeah.
What about his Reddit?
It's your
But yeah,
media.
Rapid
Mario
fire
Party.
questions and that?
Oh yeah, Mario Party. Yeah, Mario Party was like the magnum opus one. So that one, you know, it's like Mario Party. You have the whole, stage set up, and you're running around the board and doing all this shit. But the really cool thing about it was that the mini games you would play were miniature versions of previous Deep Sheep games. So
Yo.
you would do like 1 or 2 rounds of Musical Squares. You would do 1 or 2 rounds of Snake Sniper, shit like that. So it was all of the best games that we had already made mixed into that. And that was like the ultimate, because the whole point was that the world was full of games. So then here's the one game that allows you to then play all the other ones, and it adds up to this epic conclusion. And yeah, that was a really cool game.
That sounds pretty fire.
Yeah. I'm gonna steal that idea.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty easy idea to just work into anything, honestly.
I know.
You just need to have a shitload of mini games on.
You
a world.
just,
yeah, we
you
do.
need to have the stuff, and then once you have the stuff, you're good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you draw a circle, then you add the details. That's how. You
And then draw the rest of the fucking owl.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, I'm looking at my questions. I'm gonna skip around in my doc
How
of
dare you.
questions. But so Chris, you famously at one point enjoyed The Walking Dead. It was quite famous. And have you kept up with it at all? Like
Oh fuck no.
Okay, what was your cutoff? I want to know before we get into a debate. What was your cutoff?
I actively watched it every week until season 5. Once season 5 hit, I was only watching them every now and then I don't even know if I finished season 5 when it was initially airing, and then I stopped watching them regularly. And then end of season 6, I watched the finale, and it was the most disappointing thing ever. And then I came back to watch the first episode of season 7, and that was when I believe the show jumped the shark. I was like, that's it, the show jumped the shark. And I'm pretty much correct, because the viewership
Oh yeah.
greatly declined after the season 7 premiere.
See, The Walking Dead is really weird for me. It's like, I would not say it's my favorite show ever, but I think it's the show that's most easily bingeable for me. Like, especially, it's really seasons 1 through 5. Like, once I hit season 6, whenever I'm like want to rewatch the show, like once I hit season 6, I typically give up at that point. Like, just because season 6 was very slow, and there was just a lot of not great dialogue and like stupid conflicts. Like the whole Carol bullshit is stupid. But like season 5, like as a bit, like I can totally see watching it week to week why it's like a not great season. But binging it through, it's actually really really good. Like the first 3 episodes are amazing, where they're dealing with the cannibals. That was really cool. Like when they killed them in the church and shit, that was fire. And then once they go into Atlanta with the hospital and shit, then it's really boring. Like, it's like really atrocious, and a lot of people just completely skip it. And then they get to Alexandria at the end of season 5, and that's kind of cool. But like season 7, that was an okay season. Like it was just very like mid tier. Season 8 is the worst season of the entire show. It's abysmal. It's garbage. It's terrible. It also, like, the 2017-2018 era was absolutely dog ass for TV, because that was like when Game of Thrones Season 8 came out, Walking Dead Season 8 came out, Star Wars Episode 8. Episode 8s and Season 8s really got fucked over at that time.
Eights were bad.
Yeah, like, fuck me. Like, Walking Dead Season 8, I would say, is, like, just a notch above Game of Thrones Season 8, but, like, just a little bit. You know, like just a little bit in terms of insulting, like, to me. Like,
well, I guess, yeah, insult Season 8 of Game of Thrones is the most, like, insulting thing ever, because the quality of the show...
A lot of people haven't seen it. Like, MT hasn't seen it, so just no spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers. Well, because I mean, the big problem with Season 8 of Game of Thrones is that it was the final season. It was the conclusion. It was, here's the reason you guys watch this show. Here is the finale. And it was the most disappointing thing in the world. Walking Dead was already bad, you know, long before Season 8. Season 8 was just the most lazy bullshit thing ever. For me, I never even liked Season 5, and Season 5 is generally considered a fan favorite season. I watched the series several years ago, and I ranked the episodes. I sent a Google Doc in the chat if you guys ever want to look at it. And I couldn't keep watching. I actually stopped during Season 7, because if you look at my rankings, I have 3 reds in a row. I was fucking done with this shit. I thought it was the most...
those are bad fucking episodes too.
But like, if you look at Season 5, I didn't like much of Season 5. Like, I just kind of was like, I'm just fucking bored, yo. I just don't care about this. You know?
Yeah,
The Walking Dead, and you know, The Walking Dead is nostalgic for me because it was the first TV show that I watched week to week. Like, before then, TV shows for me were just like cartoons or Drake and Josh and shit like that when I was a kid. I never sat down to watch a TV show week to week. And then The Walking Dead came along, and I was like, oh, this is so cool, I'm gonna watch this. And I liked it, and I thought it was really good. And then I started watching other shows like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, and then I realized, oh, The Walking Dead's actually not good. And
yeah, no. Season 9, though, I see here, Season 9 is unranked except for the Walking Dead spoilers really don't matter here, by the way. Game of Thrones do, but Walking Dead's don't. You have the only episode rated for Season 9 as the episode where Rick leaves. But, like, Season 9 is arguably, like, if you really give it a shot, it's arguably, honestly, up there with, like, Season 1, like, in my opinion. Like, it's really good. Like, it just, the really terrible thing is, and it sucks because it's the show's fault and also not the show's fault, is losing Rick in the story is, Rick and Carl, losing both of those characters in the story honestly makes the whole show feel completely worthless after that. Like, because it's literally the main character. And now they're making a Rick and Michonne TV show spin-off.
So
it's like,
stupid.
that's The Walking Dead. That's like, if we get a Luke Skywalker TV show, that's just Star Wars. Like, and like, it's ridiculous. And they're also making a Daryl show that's in fucking France. France.
Milking that cow.
Show.
But like, Season 9, honestly, if like, because I remember I was like, after Season 8, I was like, I'm not fucking watching this show again. And then, like, I was like, I'll fucking rewatch it, but I just won't. I'll just stop after, like, Season 7. Then I watched it through, and then I just completely skipped Season 8. And then I watched through Season 9, and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, those first 5 episodes with Rick are amazing. And then after that, it's still, like, pretty good. And it's honestly, like, it's because they got a new showrunner who actually cared about The Walking Dead. And it's a shame that they only got her after The Walking Dead kind of went to shit.
We could have had Carl.
We could have had Carl. We could have had
just
a
been there
shit ton of
seasons
shit.
earlier.
But like, honestly, like the pacing, the editing, the way the story's told, like the way they translate what Rick does to other characters in the comics, like it was actually really good. And Season 10 was pretty good. And I haven't seen the last season, but like, it's definitely worth a shot. Season 9, I would say. That's my statement on the matter.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's all I have to say about
can I talk about my experience with the Whisperers and that build up for me? That was really interesting because, like, Chris, you know, you guys have like rankings and you put them in like docs or whatever. Mm-hmm. We do it, but in Minecraft, like we build them. walls and.
Hey.
Yeah, we have boards.
Yeah.
It takes up so much space on
Yeah,
the server.
Zach gets on every. Zach
gone
gets on
now.
every 6 months and has to fill out 100 things.
I hate
And he
it
hates
so
it.
much.
It's a terrible addiction.
Yeah, but it'll
Oh,
be
dude,
like,
if
hey,
you saw how many
it's- no, no, no,
fucking
no.
docs I have.
But
They'll be
anyway,
like, hey, Zach, how you doing? By the way, fill out this whole wall that we made for you. And it's like, oh,
Rate every Pixar movie right now. Like,
That,
one of
showing
us.
him, like,
I
300
so
videos.
sympathize with that because that keeps happening to me too.
Yeah, but these I guess it was Luck and Egg. They set up the Walking Dead board, and I started watching it, and then I saw season 9. Like it just says the season on it, and for the little item frame, they put a zombie head because that's where the whispers show up. But I looked at them like, aren't zombies the show? Like I don't understand what this is. And it's like you'll get it when you see it, and like the whole build up, I was like, what is this? Like I kept. The thing is, every time I had an idea, it would already happen in one of the seasons before season 9, and so the whole time I was like, what the hell is this? I really like the whispers in season 9, but also it's because it's. one of
There's
the
also, I
biggest
think, another reason that arc was done well in the show is despite Rick not being in it, it was extremely faithful to the comics. And instead of like with The Walking Dead, like in its like heyday, which I would say is like season 3 or 4 probably, in its heyday, it was like it didn't feel like you were watching a comic book show. You know what I mean? Like it felt like you were watching like a gritty, realistic thing. That just has these characters that also are in the comic, because like shit like Carol and stuff like that is vastly different, you know.
Yeah.
But it was still really good. Like season 3 and season 4 might be my favorite. But season 9, I think they kind of embraced the comic booky nature of the Whispers, because the Whispers are not realistic, really. You know, like they're kind of silly, but like they I think they execute it in a very comic booky fashion that actually kind of makes it interesting to watch. Like there's stuff that's silly in like a fun way. Like there's these guys called the Highwaymen, who are just these cowboys that just control the roads, and like there's like a part where characters are being attacked by fucking zombies on the road, and they just show up and they're like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "We're the Highwaymen." Like, and it's just fucking stupid.
Don't they like demand like road tax or something?
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna tax the roads. And it's
Tax
just
the
like,
roads.
it goes from the governor outside the prison with a tank to we're the highwaymen, we're gonna tax the roads. And like, but
Much more.
like it's just silly in a good way. Like it's kind of like it's good, but there's parts of it that aren't very good that are like really good in how they aren't good. If that makes any sense.
This is not on the list, but Chris, I'm just curious about your opinion. Comics or show, it doesn't matter. In a hand-to-hand combat, Negan versus Governor, who would win?
Well, okay. Comics, without a fucking doubt, Negan wins.
Yeah, Negan's fucking jacked.
Yeah. And the governor's like kind of a wimpy guy in the comics a bit.
Yeah,
Like,
he has
he's
no
not-
dick.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's got no dick and no eye, no arm. Yeah, he's fucked. In the show, he didn't seem that he was tall for sure, but like he didn't seem that impressive. But for some reason, he won a lot of fights that he had.
Especially with Rick.
Yeah, but at the same time, Negan as well is still pretty intimidating. And although they really made the governor kind of psycho in the show a bit, like kind of scary psycho a bit. Like in the comics, he's never actually that scary. It's just more like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you're
He's
such a
got
fucking
numbers.
asshole. I just want you to die. Versus
He's just
in
a
the
crazy
show,
guy you'd meet. And
yeah,
stuff.
in the show, it's like, oh shit, like don't get near this guy. He'll just murder you. That would be a closer fight in the show, but I still think probably Negan would win because
Yeah.
Negan's just, yeah.
That's why I
Bigger and
picked
better.
like a hand-on-hand combat, because if we picked communities, then Negan would win without a doubt.
Yeah, because Woodbury had like 60 people or something, and Negan had like hundreds. Like,
Yeah.
And
That
his
would-
guys were trained.
yeah,
Yep.
and they've been through more years of the apocalypse too. Like,
Yep.
like the Negan would have fucking destroyed the governor, but like, yeah, that's something I always liked how they adapted the governor, because like they took a villain that's like, it's like, oh fuck, this guy sucks. Oh, now he's dead in the comics. To like, dude, this is a good villain. like this is a cool villain. Like the episode where he destroys the prison is probably my favorite episode of the whole show. Like it's
Yep, that's my
it's
favorite.
fucking amazing. Like it's just it's perfect, and it's like almost completely different from the way it's done in the comics, but it's like it's an adaptation, you know. Like it's like I think like during that time they were doing really good like adapting as opposed to just like ripping it straight from the book, you know, like
I feel like they made it a lot more emotional in the show as well.
We
Yeah.
quote liar on the regular.
Lawyer.
So speaking of adaptations, the Last of Us TV show, I am very excited for that.
That looks
I am
dope.
very excited for that too.
Because it is like on paper, it sounds like it's going to be pretty fucking exact adaptation of the video game, which has one of the best stories of any video game ever. And it's like so many video game adaptations have sucked. We have never actually had a video game adaptation
Halo show.
that was. We have never had one that was universally loved. We have bullshit ones that people sometimes like the Sonic movies, where it's like, all right, are they good? Not really, but they're fun. Whatever. Pikachu, Detective Pikachu, sure, but like
It works for what it is, but
yeah,
it's
The
really
Last
great.
of Us. The Last of Us is one of the greatest video games ever, especially story-wise. And it's like, just adapt, just put it on screen, it'll work. Just
Please.
fucking do it, please. And they might do it, and I'm crossing my fingers. I really hope they nail it.
Yep.
You know,
And theoretically, it should work. It has every reason to work. It's
Yep.
The trailers look good.
Yep,
Yeah.
the trailers look good. It's all fucking there. Just do it.
Yep.
Don't mess it up.
That reminds me, the talk about The Last of Us reminds me of something from one of those old late nights. There's something Camden was kind of talking shit on you, dear
What?
Chris. He was saying that you're an idiot, and he was saying it because, he was like, Chris bought a PS3, because it was before you moved. It was right before you moved to California. And he was like, Chris bought a PS3 just to play The Last of Us, and he's not even fucking taking it with him. And he was like, he's so stupid. Like, that was, Camden had this whole rant in a late night. So did that happen? What happened with the PS3 for The Last
I
of Us?
brought it with me. I don't know where he heard that I wasn't going to bring it with me. I have it. What?
He was like, I asked him if he's gonna bring it, and he doesn't. He's not gonna fucking bring it.
That's hilarious. Also, I bought a PS4 just to play Last of Us Part 2.
There you fucking go.
Nice.
That's all you
That-
need.
That franchise makes me buy consoles. They do it.
It's
Halo
is
it's
not
only
bad
2
for
games, so
Xbox.
it's a pretty
Not anymore.
solid franchise.
Not anymore.
Yeah, because now you don't even need an Xbox to play
Two of
Halo.
two. It's pretty
Like,
solid.
There's pretty much like Xbox really has no exclusive though. It's like I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy an Xbox just to play this game. You know, because you can buy any game they make on like Steam or something now.
Yeah.
So Xbox kind of got shafted.
Shafted.
Just
So,
like to point out real quick that we are at 1 hour and 3 minutes on the.
What?
Oh shit.
Dan,
God,
your voice
last
was
week-
Time
so
flies.
soothing there.
Depressed.
Fuck.
That was beautiful. That felt like a Spotify ad. That was nice.
We are now
your
1 hour
transition?
into the podcast.
You know what, Dan?
Is your
You get a gold
transition?
star.
Yo, gold star.
So we All right.
Man,
What else? Out of my questions, that was only fucking 2 of them. Holy fuck.
Still
Yeah.
don't think we've actually done rapid fire.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck rapid fire.
Jesus Christ.
fuck
know
that noise.
We're in for the long run
My
here now.
family died in a rapid fire.
The rapid fire paradox.
All right. This is a good one. Chris, here's one. I know I said this was an issue I had with the other podcast, but we're gonna talk at you now. I want to talk about
Has that not been happening?
fucking. I want to talk about the Deep Sheep quotes because there's like Deep Sheep quotes that like you guys quote a lot, like in Deep Sheep or whatever, that like we also quote. But there's also ones that I think you guys quote that,
Some
or you
people.
don't quote that we do. Adele, do you know ones? Because I am blanking.
Wait, what?
The quotes, the quotes, the Deep
From-
Sheep quotes, the top 10 guys.
Some are good.
Some are good. I mean, that is
No.
not in the category.
I mean, we could say I'm
but-
mad. That's the first
Yeah.
one that came to my head.
Oh yeah, the dude I'm mad thing with Connor from Iron Chef. You guys, what I've realized as well is we quote that wrong. The actual thing is he's like, dude, oh my god, I'm mad.
Yeah.
But we just have shortened that to like, dude, I'm mad. And
We put more
like,
emphasis. We're like, dude, I'm mad.
yeah, and
not
we've just
screams, we've
anything that rhymes with mad as well. If it's an emotion, we say it. It's like you see something like a new episode of something, so you're like, "Oh fuck, dude, I'm glad." Like,
Dude, I'm
like-
sad.
Yeah, dude, I'm sad. It's a really versatile quote. What's
That's a
another
good
one?
No, that's it. That's
Oh
the only
shit!
one
No
we say.
shit! The fuck.
Oh shit! The shit the fuck.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
The shit.
Oh, there's
Fuck.
there's
Another
a
comic
Camden
book.
one from Deep Sheep plays Halo Reach gun game where he's like, I can't sprint. Like that's a really good one.
No, I think one that comes up to me. It's not a quote from one of the Deep Sheep episodes, but it's from one of the podcasts where Camden, for some reason, he's like, it's something about Robbie's last name. And Camden says like a pail of salsa, and that's like the funniest thing ever to us. And we just like,
We our giant Robbie throne. We gave him a pail of salsa in his hand.
And it says hot ass pail of salsa.
It's just like this weird sign.
Now it's cold ass.
It is cold. We decorated it for Christmas, but
Aw, cute.
like
We had to cover up the sombrero. Can I bring that up or not?
yeah, probably.
What?
I mean,
you
let's just move
Yeah,
on.
why not?
So, like, fucking what's another thing that we quote a
Oh,
lot? We
time
quote the
time to go mega mode. We quote a bit.
time to go mega mode.
time to go mega mode. Yeah, we quote that one.
I'm on fire.
That's another good one. I quote Camden a lot. I've realized there's
all the
a.
quotes that are coming to mind are not Deep Sheep quotes, and I'm mad.
I know.
there's one quote that's not really a Deep Sheep quote, but it's the summer good. That's the one we
that's
say a
classic.
lot.
Oh, yeah,
Any,
Summer Good's
that
a
every
classic.
fucking line in that
And-
video is quotable. Like
Yeah. like
like,
thank you
pro
for
tip.
sticking up for me.
yeah,
No,
that's
pro tip.
actually one that we use really
Pro
hard.
tip
Like
is one that
We use that religiously. Around
yeah,
here.
the when he goes like, thank you to all the motherfucking people who stick up for me. Like that's another one we've shortened, but we use that all like in Jackbox games. Like if you're playing Quiplash, you know how it's like if everybody votes for one, the person who loses is like it's like a Quiplash or whatever. Like if someone saves somebody from a Quiplash and they're the only one who's voted on something, like the person who just got like saved from the Quiplash goes like, you know what? Thank you for sticking up for me. Like it's really good. I was like, you know what, Del? Thank you for sticking up for me. You always have to hit the high note as well. Like
There's another video by Norm Gets Mad at All the Haters. He has another one where he's in the car and he's really upset at the audience because apparently they've upset his dog and they're insulting his dog. And he's like, you could talk about me. You could say that I'm fat. It's fine. I know. By the way, it motivates me to work out. But when you talk about my dog, my 9-week-old puppy, now that really pisses me off. And he's all triggered and everything. And then after he goes on a rant, he then just is like, so I just want you all to stop it. Are we clear? And then he just stops and goes, thank you. I appreciate it. Like of course everyone just agrees. Like, okay, all right, we get it. We won't insult you anymore. We won't
I
insult
love
your dog.
the logic as well. It's like, what could someone say about a dog? Like,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
Fuck your dog, dude. Like,
He was like,
Dude, your dog.
he's like, and then he gets all like sad and he's just talking about like everything's going wrong and he's like, listen, I know that you guys mean well, but Vera's crying, the dog's not happy, just be nice. It's just like the dog's not happy. Why? Because it
read the
knows
comments
that
of
it's
the
being
dog.
roasted on the internet.
I think more what it implies is like, did you tell the dog what people have been saying about
Yeah,
it?
listen, man, they're saying some whack ass shit about you on the
they
internet.
called you fat because you're my dog. God.
Oh god.
There's a Deep Sheep podcast where you guys I think initially talked about Summer Good, and in that, Chris, you did like a little parody of that where it was you talking about people complaining about you winning the first 3 games of Deep Sheep or whatever. And then something that I've always loved is you're like, fuck it, say I'm good at Minecraft. Like I know I'm good at Minecraft. Fuck it, I say it in my videos. Like I just love imagining there's a Chris video. You just make it like today. You're like, I'm fucking good at Minecraft, guys. Like,
Camden, get the aspirin.
Alex, I love you.
And then you just hear Alex in the background just being like, "What?"
Oh, that's a classic. It's a classic.
I should've unsubscribed
There's a
to
quote in Deep Sheep plays Left 4 Dead Blood Harvest. When Camden gets down, he goes, "I'm fucking dead," and I love that so fucking much. Just the way he said that. I don't know what made him say it, but that became a quote that I repeat a lot. Just, "I'm fucking dead."
Yeah. There's I guess this is like Deep Sheep adjacent. It's more of like a We Cool quote, but it's about Deep Sheep, I guess. But there was this video from way early We Cool days when we all didn't know each other very well, called MT Gets Wasted. Now, keep in mind, MT has never been wasted, and it was a dirty trick. But
me, filthy lawyer.
It's just like him. He's like very deliriously tired and stuff, and we're in a call with him. We're recording him. But there's like this one thing that we quote. It's another versatile quote because like Nathan was in Deep Sheep fan chat at some point that day, but then he left like at some point, and MT kept going like, I miss Nathan, and then like there was just this thing he goes like, Nathan was here, but then he wasn't, like and so like every time like I quote that to people who don't even get that, like I'm like out and they're like, where's Brett, and I'm like he was here but then he wasn't, like, and, like I also quote Summer Good to people who don't get it and they just look at me like I'm a fucking dumbass, but it's
so Summer Good is so classic.
Yeah.
Like,
I
have you
love
told
Summer
that what is it, the Sucks to Suck story on a podcast before?
I don't think Chris has ever heard the story, but I was a child when Deep Sheep season 1 was coming out.
Goodness, you were a child.
I was a child. That was almost 10 fucking years ago. But like
next year, baby.
Fucking Hunger Games turned 10 this year. But like
Holy shit.
I remember like watching Skintown Rumble. I fucking loved the Spencer and Daniel shit in Skintown Rumble. Like, literally, I remember being a kid on a fucking iPad, and like I literally replayed Spencer blowing up Club Alien like 16 fucking times. Like I was
So
like, dude,
epic.
that is so lit. Like it's, but their insults to each other are so stupid. And there's the part where like Spencer goes like, sucks to suck, and then Daniel goes like, well, you would know best of all. And like I just like remember like I was like, I'm gonna put that in my pocket. Like I was a little kid, I was like, I'm gonna put that one in my pocket and I'm gonna wait for someone to say sucks to suck, and or something like that. And like the opportunity finally came, and like someone initiated it, and then I said that. And they were like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like no one thought it was cool. And I was like, "Damn it, Daniel!"
Daniel.
Been waiting his whole life for that one.
I waited my whole life. I don't know when. I think it was like to my brother, and he was like, "That's not fucking cool."
Damn, I guess you gotta be in Minecraft for it to work.
Yeah. I guess this will be the last thing from mine, and then we can move on to eggs. Cause
You mean
mine's
last of your
Can I
rapid fire
bring
questions?
up a random question?
Bring up a random question.
I just remember this. I'm putting this video on WeChat. I'll say it out loud if you can't find WeChat, Chris. There's a video you posted years ago. Do you guys remember this?
Perfection.
I remember this.
Is this legit or is this a joke? Didn't we debate this?
I have no idea.
It's legit.
I
That's why I
remember-
uploaded it.
Is this the video or is it something else? I can't remember. You say in the video that you're the first person ever to do this, and we were like, what? I don't believe that.
I mean, that was
I have
probably
no memory of
sarcasm.
debating this, but it may have happened.
It was probably sarcasm if I say it in the.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I start the video saying
I
like.
say it in my videos.
Yeah, I was saying in my fucking videos where I'm just like, yeah, I'm the first person ever to do this, which is why I'm uploading it. You know, it's a big deal. Cause like in the end, like I'm not a fucking amazing gamer. Like I'm not gonna upload a video that actually is the most legendary thing ever. But I was proud that I got a perfection in Halo Reach, so I was like, oh, I'll upload it. Fuck it.
Thumbs up.
The only thing
Risk for face
actually
contract
that
now?
I think I hold the record for is 100% win rate in Fortnite solo, because I've only ever played the solo mode of Fortnite once, and I somehow won, and I have not played it since,
There you go.
and I'm pretty proud of that. I will never play it again.
Adding that to your resume.
But
Yeah.
my final thing. This is kind of a another plead similar to the musical pairs thing.
You on the knees? You on your knees?
I'm on my knees. Actually, no, I'm not gonna.
Ready
do
to
that.
suck dick.
He hasn't
On
not
my
been on
knees.
his knees. This is
But
Once again.
like this is another plead. And this is not a plead for you to take action, okay? Because action is hard. This is a
Yeah.
plead for you to tell someone else to take action.
Okay.
And so I recently learned. I learned this months and months and months ago. That you can put podcasts on Spotify for free, and it's very easy. And then I did it with all the We Cool ones, and that took like a week. And like I was like, that's actually pretty easy. And then I was like, dude, Deep Sheep should put their podcast on Spotify. like that would be dope. Because Spotify supports video podcasts too. So like even the most recent ones, it's not like people would miss out. And so yeah, you should tell somebody to do that. Like
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Didn't Spencer bring that up on a podcast, one of the earlier ones?
I think Robbie brought it up.
I just remember they were like, "You idiot! We could just put them on YouTube." And I just imagine you'd be like, "No!"
Well, it's like dope because you can like if you have it on your phone, right? You can turn off your phone and it's still playing. You know, like that's pretty fire.
Unless you got YouTube Premium, in which case it doesn't.
What are you,
Yeah.
a loser?
I was gonna say, why would you buy
Exactly.
Literally,
What are
the
you, a
only
rich
person I
loser?
know. The only person I know that has it is Sam. He told me he got it today. That is the only person.
I
Make
had it
that
for
two
3
people.
months because I had a free trial.
Yeah, same. It was nice to have that free trial.
Dude, that was a golden time. I felt like a king. It was a really small. It was about the little victories back then.
I'm going on a monthly subscription for it just because I'm getting tired of 5 unskippable ads.
Yeah.
Get an ad blocker, Dan.
I can't do that on my phone.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's so
Honestly,
frustrating.
I'm waiting until I have a good enough job to do it, and then I'll fucking do it because I can use
It's
YouTube
kinda
enough to where I
expensive,
feel
though.
like it's reasonable.
If you're a student though, it's like $7 a month.
$7 a month. Oh my god.
I think they've
I
increased
hate when
it
I'm
now,
like,
actually.
I'm listening to the music I have a playlist, and then that stupid FIFA World Cup ad. That's the most annoying ad they've ever created.
The ads are always louder than the video too.
Yeah,
It's the worst. It's
It
the
fucking-
worst.
I hate.
well, yeah, like
It,
I just wanna say, I hate that
it's annoying.
ads.
If only because sound design. It's like, why do you do this?
Do you guys also
Why?
get it
Like
where
that
the video will buffer, but the ads will play perfectly?
Yep.
And I fucking
Yep.
hate it.
No, actually,
It's
no, I
kinda
find it
evil.
more. No, it's more insulting when there's a second left and then it buffers for like 20 seconds, and you're like, "Come on, just let me skip it." Look, can we please get through your questions, you could dig?
I
the
said that was
rapid
my last
fire.
one.
Come on.
Oh, hey, go.
Come on, come on.
It's me. It's me time.
it's you.
It's
Yeah, egg time.
I'm awake.
It's you time.
Hello,
Goblin
it's
time.
me.
All right.
Guys, welcome to Bodhieville.
Yeah. Well, what
Population,
up? Welcome.
us
me.
all.
What the
Population
fuck
8.
are you saying? No. it's just
Population.
me.
dang it, Zach,
2
you
billion
ruined the
monkey
joke.
photos from me.
I'm sorry.
So, Egg, you had questions.
I have 2 questions. Chris.
Yes.
Thank you for the delay.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Subscribe.
Thank you for sticking.
Thank you to all the fuck people who stick up.
Thank you for sticking up for me.
Actually,
Thank
didn't
you.
stick up for you.
No.
So, Egg, you had that
Can
question.
we all
Yeah,
calm
hey.
down for a minute? Can we all calm down for just a little bit? Just calm
I
down.
am fucking calm.
Del, I'm gonna stick my cylinder up your asshole.
Oh, God.
Stick a
Just
Wolverine
like around
one
to say-
caliber.
I'd save the cylinder.
It's a very
Okay.
specific.
Here's my
Pandora's box got
parallelogram.
opened.
Guys,
Okay,
can we please bring
but-
down the moon?
So, Egg, you had those questions.
Chris, are there any games you're currently playing?
God of War 2018. It's fucking awesome.
Nice.
That is. I was in. Yeah. It's. Oh fucking. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. I never
Yeah.
played a
You're
God of
coming.
War
Oh, yeah.
before.
You're creaming
but
right now.
yeah, it's fucking great. I've been playing it. It's like known as one of the greats, and I was like, alright, let's check it out. And I'm playing. I'm just like, fuck, I get it. It's so fucking good.
Are you going to
It's
play
really
the new
good.
one?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna like take a break because like, you know, I bust my nut with one game where I play for like 24
yeah.
hours and then it's like I need that recharge time.
You're
to play
blue
something
balling
else.
yourself.
Yeah.
Gotta take a
Before
tea
that
break.
though, yeah, I gotta take a tea break before I game. But before that, I was on a Resident Evil craze. I figured out Halo's my number.
Boner.
Halo.
You did?
I gave you a boner?
You did?
What?
No, Chris, I think you were saying something.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
happened
carry on,
this whole
carry on, carry on.
time.
Yeah, and then before
Halo.
that was Resident Evil. So Halo's my number 1 game series of all time. Resident Evil's number 2 because there's a lot of Resident Evil games that I really like, and I've been playing a lot of them. Resident Evil 2 remake is awesome. Resident Evil 3 remake was okay. 4 is classic. 5 I actually really like. 6 is garbage, but 7 is awesome. 8 is awesome. I'm just having a great time with Resident Evil.
This boy's living it up.
I'm living it up. I'm playing a lot of video games right now. It's fun.
Good.
All
I
right,
said, I
fucking
fucking said it.
What?
the most depressed Norm of all time. I say it in my videos.
I say in my videos.
Thank you for sticking up for me.
Chris, are you considering the new Pokemon series at all?
That was the best cutout of all time. All we heard was just.
Editor, please edit it to where it's just the exact cutout. Thank you.
Alright, I will edit this and I will do it.
You're not editing this, Chris.
I know.
Delicious.
But yeah, anyways.
Where does delicious come in?
Are you
Egg,
considering
next question.
the
Your
new
next
Pokemon
question.
at
You
all?
have one
Well, hold
more
on,
question,
hold on.
Egg, please.
No.
For
Hold on, hold
Pokemon,
on.
I'm not really. I haven't really been on that Pokemon game for a while.
Yep.
So yeah,
Some are good.
Some are good.
some are good.
That's not a one. That's
Some
that's
are
a,
good.
That's
Some
not a
are good.
franchise.
Plus, I
That's-
heard that the most recent one,
Some-
the Violet and Scarlet, is like hot garbage.
From what I've heard, it's a really
Can
good
we not do this?
game,
Can
but
we not
it's
do this?
really
Can we not
fucking
do this?
buggy
Can we
to the
not do
point where
this?
it's not worth playing.
Joseph,
I'm repressing
Joseph,
it.
Joseph, please,
Yes.
calm down.
Dude,
Did I explode for some reason?
Don't remind me!
I guess our conversation's over.
What happened?
Luna, you got
I don't know what
fucking
happened.
Jurassic World and you got Chris Pratt so hard he was like like it was just fucking
I don't want the world to implode, right?
Yeah.
Last question.
So yeah, your next
is-
question.
Next question.
Well, it's the last one.
Last question.
What is a video that you despised making? Like you just fucking hated it. Hated making.
Fuck, bro. There's a few. I mean, for short films, god damn, I hated the interrogation. That was painful.
Oh yeah.
What else?
I didn't like that one where there's the light outside.
That one was bad, but like I didn't hate doing it. I hated the interrogation mainly because it was not at all what I wanted it to be, and I was just fully aware that it was shit. But I had to finish it.
Was there any
Wanted that damn water bottle.
was there any Deep Sheep episodes where you were like fuck this? Like
Yeah. Fucking mini golf. I kind of just accepted was not going to be the best episode ever. It was just like, all right, this will be an okay episode. There was a lot of Deep Sheep episodes that were a pain in the fucking ass to edit, but they ended up being good videos. So, you know, it's like
It was worth it.
like
whatever.
Like kill
That's what
yourself.
happens.
Kill Yourself was a pain in the ass. Iron Chef was that almost made me Kermit slip and slide. I hated
that's
that.
something I it's not on the doc, but I remember thinking about asking this earlier. Is like we've heard like in some podcasts and stuff, and like other like random mentions and remarks, like how like fucked Kill Yourself and Iron Chef Part 2 was like. But mainly, what I'm curious about is Kill Yourself, where it's like I remember there was one thing Spencer was joking, like at some point you, Spencer and Camden, were calling it like what happens in the narrative and stuff like that. Like that. But like. You don't need to say like what's fake and stuff or whatever, because I know you've said that's like the most faked one. But like what went so wrong with that? Like what took it from just like we filmed it to like this whole Frankenstein shit? Like what happened?
I'm trying to remember because with Kill Yourself, I didn't edit that one. I just like helped it. I helped out. What I do remember is that everything involved with Robbie and Spencer had to be refilmed for some reason. And the actual versions of them in real life weren't too far off from what we did, but it was a mess and something with like, I don't know if we lost the footage or whatever. Maybe that happened. I forget. But that was a big part of what went wrong. Also, apparently it was just like a really long, messy video that got really boring at times. So there was just like, what do we do to skip ahead in time? And Camden came up with the genius idea of doing like these musical segments of like, just like, here's a montage, but, you know, it's a bye-bye montage, dig-it-dig-it-dump, and just doing that. And it was like, yo, that works. Iron Chef, though, that was a mess because we filmed it like 3 different times. The first time, straight up, was a failure, and the only thing that was kept was the creeper blowing up section. That happened the first time we filmed it, and the reason we didn't just straight up scrap it all is because we all knew that creeper blowing up and all of us at the Krusty Krab, just that entire sequence is so amazing that it has to be in the video. So then we filmed again, starting from right after that, and then that also was a mess. So then we had to refilm like the second half or whatever, and then we had to refilm certain rounds, and it was just a huge Frankenstein monster of just piecing together like 5 different timelines to make it seem like one coherent video.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything from that first recording besides that thing you just said?
Nathan won.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he won the first time we did it.
Was he like, I'm Iron Chef now?
Well, it was unfortunate because he won in like the least exciting way, and that was sort of the disappointing part. Where like, it was just like there was so much more exciting stuff going on, and then he just kind of ended up winning, and it was like, ah, fuck, all right, it's over, and it was just like a down note. And then we ended up also just refilming it because overall we were like, that just wasn't a very good video.
Yeah.
The second time, I remember Connor won, but he like took the game way too seriously, and it just was not a fun video. And after that, we all agreed like, okay, fine, like Connor definitely deserves a win at this point, so he can win. We just need to be more exciting and fun. And then that's where shit gets complicated, where it's like you don't want to change the narrative because now we've decided this is the narrative, but you want to have fun and be exciting, but not make it fake. And yeah, and then also I know that Robbie's audio is fake for a good chunk of part 1, I think, because it got lost. So, fuck, what was it called? It was Fine Brosing It. Fine Brosing It was where we would show someone their footage long after the fact, so they don't even remember what they did, and they just record their audio live and just kind of guess. And really all that works is just laughter. Robbie just laughs at the thing, so because his laughter was real, it makes it seem like he's still in the video.
Yep.
Yeah, so just that, like...
The thing you said about the narrative is when we filmed our last episode, I Need Wheat, everybody wanted me to win. That's what we decided. Zach, our good friend that disappears for months at a time, did not know this. And there's a final fight, and everybody just kind of wasn't in the fight. It was between me and Beast. And everybody else just wasn't in the fight. They're like, yeah, we don't need to fight him because we want him to win. Like, we'll pretend like we're chasing him at the end, but whatever. Zach, however, decided to throw a poison potion at me, and I died. And god damn it, that ruined it.
Yeah, like, I was thinking about this. I think I was talking to Dell about it the other day. Is like, because... Chris, I think we said this in the last one, but fuck it. Like, we've had a lot more time to reflect now, but like, we really, when we started making our series, like, for some reason, we really thought, like, because we had heard the issues you guys had with, like, your season 1 and the stuff you were having problems with in season 2, and we just, for some reason, were like, yeah, that's not gonna happen to us, and then, like, almost verbatim, everything happened like that. Like, our chef episode was a piece of shit. One of our people left at the end of it, like, right after, and so much shit was, like, a pain. There wasn't, like, the thing with your season 1 where you guys said, like, a lot of it was a pain to film because of lag and shit like that, but, like, there was one episode, and, like, see, I feel like our series lands in this weird area because there's, like, this spectrum of quality for the sort of Deep Sheep style of Minecraft series, and it's like you have season 2, Deep Sheep season 2, which is like the pinnacle, like that's the peak. Nothing is better than that. And then you have Deep Sheep season 1, which I think is like worse than season 2. And then like right above season 1, you have our season, which is like just a little bit better, I think, just because we are slightly more like modern with stuff like that.
And we had more editors.
We had more editors and stuff like that, but like
better audio quality.
Yeah, like the one thing that I would say would have maybe gotten it closer to season 2 is like you guys talk a lot in like the podcast about like little tweaks, like the fact that in Mob Hunt like you changed it to where like Robbie says Chris got 100 points and like you made the egg less points than it originally was. Like I don't think did in terms of like narrative tweaks did nothing like that. Like I don't think we really did anything like that. Like that we'd go in filming and be like, yeah, like MT is probably gonna win this, we're gonna let him win, but like nothing was ever really faked like to where we like okay, let's just get on and film this. And there's episodes where it really could have, like I Need Wheat was our finale and I love that video and it's still pretty good, but the big issue with it is that like we all knew MT was gonna win, and since you don't know, like I Need Wheat is basically just Skintown Rumble, but with like we had a texture pack that makes different like wheats or whatever, like
that's cool.
Wheats, yeah, and the whole goal is, you get to, and it was originally just like Skin Time Rumble, you get all the wheats from everybody else, and then you get to the top of your house and put it in a chest. But, like, we wanted MT to win, and it was going on so long, and he just had them all, and so, and then, like, Zach killed him, and so I remember we were like, do we want to keep going? And then we just went like, let's just say that MT won and just remove that from the rules.
Hold on. Just to clarify, Zach killed me. It screwed everything over, and then we were like, let's just do another final. Because I remember Beast pointed out that the original final fight was really short. Like, it was really, really short. So it's like, let's just do it again and make it longer. Then we did that again. I got the wheat again, and then Zach killed me again.
So we were like, let's just say he fucking wins.
Yeah.
Like,
we literally what I did was we changed the rules. We were like, the wheat doesn't need to be in the chest. Whoever just has an inventory wins. The end.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like, but like we never did anything where it's like post filming. We go in and we just like restructure the story. I think the biggest episode though that could have used that was Save the Village because like Iron Chef, from what it sounds like, was a bit of a shit show to film.
Yep.
Save the Village was a shit show to film. Like, it's like a round-based game, and I think there was about 5 rounds because there's 5.
You wouldn't think it would
be.
Game. It only had like 5 people.
Yeah, it had 5 people, and there was a round-based game, like where people take turns defending
6
the
technically.
village. Yeah, whatever. But like, fucking, it's a simple game. It's whatever. But like, shit kept happening. I think the first time we filmed it, we were like, that just wasn't very good. So we'll just do it again. And then something was wrong with someone's footage, and then that kept happening. And then it got to the point where I think October 2019, every single Saturday, we got on and filmed another round. Like, it was just a shit show. But, like, honestly, in hindsight, like, we should have just fucking made up the rounds. Like, we should have just faked them. Like, they should have been completely staged. Like,
tell Chris about the Beast AIDS.
Yeah, I know. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that, please. Oh my God. Okay, so, I remember Beast. He's not in the group anymore. He had this, there was this one day, we were like, alright, we got the whole day, we're gonna do this. And then, I think it was after like 2 rounds, right? It was we just finished the first 2. Then, for the next, like 25 minutes or more? Wasn't it an hour?
It was 40 minutes. It was 40 minutes or something.
We sat there, he kept trying to relog, he would get in for 2 seconds, and then the server would...
Because we're on Java Edition, where it's like third-party server hosts, and like, we had a free host at the time, I think. And
I think it was Eternos.
Yeah, Beast like had this weird thing that would happen to him every once in a while, like every couple months, where he would just like connect to the server and get disconnected. He'd have to reconnect like 50 billion times to finally get in. And like he had done that right before we filmed, and then the server crashed after the second round. And so we had to all join back, and then Beast had that, and then he couldn't join for an hour, and he just went, guys, I'm just gonna go. And so we
have that on recording. Filming. We have 45 minutes of nothing, of us just sitting there waiting around doing nothing.
Like, it's the worst. But, like, in hindsight, like, if we, I don't know, I feel like if we had modern mindsets, like, we would have just gone in. Because, like, the worst thing to me about that is I made that game, and then it was a shit show to film, and then for some reason, no one brought this up. Bye, MT. No one brought this up, I never edited, like, I edited the tutorial in it, but I never edited, like, a round for some reason. Like, it was MT and Zach, which was weird. But, like, so I felt bad about that. But then I felt even worse because, like, because we were filming, like I said, the rounds on different days and shit. Something happened to our world where we had to roll it back to an earlier save, like a copy of it, you know? And, in between that save being made and us when the server got fucked, like, we had changed the rules of how the game worked, but then we rolled it back to a time where there was different rules, but some of the rounds were recorded with the new rules, and so like I won through bullshit pretty much, and like that's my only solo win of it, and it's like completely fucking like it's not even fake. It's literally just like I cheated, but I didn't even know it. Like and
the worst combination of things.
And Lunar noticed it, but he didn't know quite how to articulate it. He was like, I think because like there was a system in the game where you could like use emeralds to buy like tools
it was the armor. It was
village.
Like I did the math. It was like this doesn't add up.
Yeah, and like
there's no way that you could have
the prices of items that we had changed in between the server like saves, and so when we went back, I was like, wait a minute, I can buy full iron sword and a diamond armor, or full iron armor and a diamond sword, and and then I just destroyed everybody. and like and it was just bullshit. Like I was just fucking I cheated. I didn't even know it. Like, and so we should have just fucking staged that. Like we should have just gone back and been like, all right, this is gonna happen. Like even at one point, Beast couldn't be there for one of the rounds. Like Zach, his work schedule at the time only allowed him to be on for Saturdays, and then Beast during the filming of this could no longer get on Saturdays, and so like we just had Egg get on and just turn on Beast's skin, and then Beast was just silent for that round. And I am actually pretty proud of the joke I made at the end of it. Like I win and we're on my skin, and like they're like, so what do you have to say? And I go like, well, Beast, I know we haven't been on speaking terms recently, but yeah, like, and then what sucks as well is like, you know, someone's not there, but someone's by acting, so naturally you'd be like, okay, we're gonna fake his audio for that. But like, we did that with the expectation that Beast would do that, but then Beast was like, I'm not gonna do that, and we're like, okay, I guess you're gonna be silent in this round. And then after it was done, he was like, dude, we really should have faked my audio. And it was like, oh well, okay. So like, it was just it was a shit show.
Yeah, but making these videos, it can be a shit show. You run into a lot of problems.
It's just such a unique style of filming and editing of video. You know what I mean? Like, like no, I've never seen another like thing do that, because it's hard, and that's why no one else does it. Like,
it's a lot of fucking work, and that's where it's like. Weekly videos for a year? No, fuck that. Like, it's too much work.
It's way too much. It's like,
but you know, in my opinion, the longevity of the series, you can rewatch these episodes and get so much out of them compared to all the other Minecraft series on YouTube, where you know half of them are bad. You know, you could skip episodes; it doesn't matter. Versus like these contained videos of this small series, like every episode is filled to the brim with stuff,
with moments and stuff. I recently I showed one of my friends who doesn't know like the Deep Sheep or Weekle or anything, and like I showed him Mob Hunt the other day, and like out of a vacuum, like you can watch that, and I've seen it happen now. You can watch that and not know anything about Deep Sheep, and like he was fully into it. Like and like I remember there was like a part where it was like it was that moment that was from the first recording where you kill Robbie in the beginning, and he goes, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Oh, he's into it." Like, and then
it works.
During the Connor fight, then he went, "Oh, I'm fucking hyped." Like,
well, that was the thing where I'm just like, I don't give a fuck that it's Minecraft. Like, this shit is epic to us. This shit is intense. We care a lot, and like when you think about it, like story-wise, like a movie, it's like, damn, like here's Chris, like the overachiever. He's in the end. We have to stop him. Oh, we're teaming up. Oh, but now we can't survive. We have to do this. And then I betray one of them, and then it's me and Connor. We have this epic clash. It's like, you know, sometimes those things don't naturally happen when you're playing the game. Sometimes you have to play things up, and you have to make things more epic in editing. But sometimes you just end up with gold. And it's like, I'm going to maximize this gold as much as I can because it makes it a fire video.
Yeah, it was...
Honestly, it's kind of how I feel about D&D and stuff like that, where... Currently, I'm writing a fucking book from the actual story of this D&D campaign because it fucking follows so many conventions that we didn't intend to at the time.
Yep.
But it just worked out.
Yeah. I've always wanted to play.
Oh my god, this is so perfect.
Yeah. I've always wanted to play D&D because I think I would fucking love it.
It's great.
It just
I'd be willing to DM for people. Like it's been a bit.
Sorry to interrupt real quick. I just want to mention a couple of things real quickly. First, we're up to almost
we should
an hour and 40 minutes on our recording.
Holy shit.
And
Emmett's device died, so he might have issues from here on
Hello?
out.
I
Like that. So apologies in advance.
You sound atrocious.
You sound glorious, my friend.
you sound like that.
That's NT.
You sound 240p.
Emmett, you're
That's a
very
perfect way
robot-y.
to describe
very,
it.
very robot-y.
I'm gonna mute
A
myself.
glorious robot.
But yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Nice.
Luke, I am your father.
Just to
So
wrap up
Emmett's
that
not-
thing, yeah, I wish, like, that's another problem I have with our series, is we really just, like, we're just gonna play the games and record it. Like, we didn't really fully have the mindset of, like, let's just make this entertaining. Like, and so I think that's, like, an issue with it. But Zach and Del have not asked any of their questions.
Oh my
So
god.
let's do that and then be
I'll
done.
make mine quick. So, you know.
Rapid fire for real.
Yeah.
Rapid
Rap
because
real.
I need to do
I can
rapid
see
fire.
your message, MT.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, so I have 2 legit questions.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Let's do
I
it.
know we said rapid fire, but MT just brought up something.
Oh, wait.
Zach,
Fuck's
you're
sake, I can't
in
even-
the document. It was like in a certain structure, and we noticed before the podcast that Zach actually put his questions in the middle of all of Del's questions, and you made like 5 dots, like 5 bullet points, and then you didn't even like fill them all out, but that was it. So
Oh.
there you go.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So rapid fire, baby.
yeah, I'm gonna do what you couldn't do. Anyway,
Thank you.
so
Gotti.
Damn.
you were. Yeah, no, I did. That's not mean. Anyway, fuck you. So you were talking earlier about wanting to focus on yourself, and does that mean you're not writing anything at the moment? Like you're not working on any project at all?
It's weird because like people are always like, "Oh, I'm writing." It's like I don't really write necessarily. Like I just sometimes I get bursts of motivation and I have an idea and I just kind of go off with it and I play around with it. Like I don't really give myself a deadline of like I need to write these amount of pages in this amount of time or whatever the fuck. Like if I have a document full of horror ideas, horror short films, horror feature films, just a shitload of horror-based stuff. And all that's been
Fuck yeah.
created over the course of making these films. And, it's like, okay, I guess that's my writing. So, like, I always have ideas. I am always thinking of stories, but I'm not actively working on turning any of them into a film at the moment.
Well, that's fantastic. You've answered that perfectly. Thank you very much. That's exactly how I think I write as well. I don't really have like scripts. I just have loads of ideas. I'm like, I might do that. That sounds fun.
Yep.
I'll do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, you write down all of your ideas, and then sometimes, you get one that you're really into, and then you flesh it out, and you have paragraphs, and then you have an outline, shit like that. And then sometimes you're just, like, not motivated, and you're like, what's on this document anyway? And then you read some of your ideas that you completely forgot about, and you're like, oh, that's actually fire. Maybe I'll expand on that. And then eventually you get hooked on one, and you're like, all right, I really like this one. Okay, all right, maybe I'll actually write it into a script, and maybe I actually want to turn it into a film. I've only ever gotten to writing the script of a film and then ending up not making it into a film. Usually by the time I reach the script stage, I actually turn it into a film.
Oh, okay.
So, like, a small follow-up question to that: when you look at like the ideas again, and you just see one that how often do you just see one where you just think, how the what shrooms was I on while I wrote that idea down? What the fuck?
I haven't had that. It's funny. Instead, I will see ideas where I go, oh, I was really depressed when I wrote that idea.
Oh boy, yeah.
Or I'll be like, man, I was in a dark place when I wrote that one down. I'm not doing that anytime soon. Or like, I'm just like, what is wrong with me? That is demented shit. I am not doing that ever. There's ideas like that.
Honestly, the best
Yeah.
horror ideas are always like the ones where it's like, oh, I'm going to analyze some fucked up thing that's in my brain.
Well, yeah,
Like, this,
And that's
this depressed thought that like I need to process.
Well, because that's what I love about horror so much, and why like it unfortunately gets a bad rep, because horror nowadays is not horror. It's just blood and gore and basically black comedy, because people who go to watch slasher gory movies like that aren't there to actually get scared. They're there for the fun, cheap thrills of a carnival ride that in the end is more just like a black comedy of like, haha, that teenager got killed again, haha, oh my god, I was wrong, it's actually this person who died first, and whatever the fuck. But like Hereditary, horror movies like that, those are actually exploring the dark parts of our minds and humanity, and most people don't actually want to do that because they're afraid of it. I love exploring that. I love expanding on that and trying to basically tell like ideas that I have and thoughts that I have in movie form, and I think that just is fun to explore. I think people can get stuff out of that. So in the future, I would really like to explore psychological horror deeper. Like so far, my ideas have been more like, quote unquote, a gimmick, where it's, the girl under the bed, she's not real. We have a monster that can mimic other voices. Like those are gimmicks, but then I try and expand it to something beyond the gimmick of, okay,
Yep.
when can you trust what is going on? Are you being tricked? Or a mother facing the dark reality that maybe she never wanted to be a mother in the first place, and she hates that part of herself. And I want to explore fucked up, sad shit like that. And
I want to be made
know,
uncomfortable by those
that's,
stories.
I actually have a question about that like Abyss Monster.
Wait,
Because
sex
while I was
question.
watching,
Yeah, it's not your turn.
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah,
listen,
no,
it's
no,
relevant.
no.
It's
You know what,
relevant.
guys?
It's relevant.
How about
gonna fart into the
how about
microphone.
both of you don't say anything and Chris asks a question. All right. How about that?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Zach, what is your question?
Ah,
Fuck's
fuck
sake.
you, Dale. Okay, come on. All right. I'll be again. I'll just be quick again. It's
Right
not-
before.
For fuck's sake. Okay. It's not really a question, but it's just to kind of elaborate on the whole like thing you talked about earlier of how you were kind of like impressed that Deep Sheep were able to like form another group and like it came up with something. I just wanted to like a lot of us, mainly MT, have already been meeting up with one another. I just wanted to. Like,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to like.
Actually,
Yeah.
I actually want to
MC
point that
met
out.
Beast the other day.
That's a really funny story because Luck pointed this out to me recently. I'm the king of meeting not Weak Cult members. Like, we have this person who, for a tiny bit of time, we're considering adding them to the group called Wolfie. I met her. He was the first person I met in the real world. And then I met Dane. He was not in the group, but then he was. This was really bizarre because I met him before he was in the group, and then we were like, should that count? Because when we added him, we were like, should that count as a Weak Cult meetup? He wasn't in the group, but like, that's what made it weird is when he was in the group and I met him, we were like, this is technically the first Weak Cult meetup, but I've already met this person. Like, this is bizarre. Like, it'd be the equivalent of, like, you meeting up with Camden, Chris, and being like, this is the first Deep Sheep meetup. It's like, I guess so. But, like,
Yeah.
I don't know if this should count. Yeah, I'm going to meet Fritz next. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, he met Beast, who used to be in the Weak Cult. Like,
Oh,
a
yeah,
couple days ago.
recently. Can I talk about that? No.
Well,
Oh, it's
too
too
much.
long.
Well,
Too long.
Hold on.
MT,
So
you're gonna
Yes.
meet up with an actual member soon, though, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Jiggles.
You should go.
No, next year, I'm going to meet Zach at some point.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's awesome.
And there's
Do
another
you
one
guys-
happening. No,
Do you
hold
guys
on, hold
have
on.
a plan?
Now, Chris,
He's vomiting now. What have you done?
Come on. Right.
You fucking made Chris projectile.
He's going
vomit.
aggro.
Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, are you guys planning to do like a full group meetup?
Maybe one day.
We've
Oh
talked
my
about
God.
it.
Maybe one day.
that requires a
it's
lot of
too
planning for that kind of thing.
Yeah, you guys don't
Oh, I get
understand. You guys all live in America. We got people from all over the world.
I mean, yeah,
Look at the
that's
ocean.
even yeah.
Speaking
Well,
of
it
that,
could-
though,
yeah.
I was just gonna say, also next year, another potential meetup. It's not set in stone, but there's a lot of plans for it. Is
It's very loose. Very loose.
Dell? We know at least it would be Dell will come to America, and meet
Coming
me,
to America.
and then
to
additional
America.
people that could be there. Are like Dane said he might, Egg said he might, and then Zach even said he might. But I feel like that's probably the least
That's
likely.
awesome.
It
That's
depends, and I might, but it depends entirely on fucking Watts.
Yeah, and
the future
that's
holds,
pretty
yeah.
dope.
Do you guys plan to do any videos while you're hanging out, or
Me
is
and
it
Zach
just-
did.
Oh, yeah, me,
Yeah,
Chris,
100%.
and Americans.
Go. You're about to say it, weren't you?
Well, which one? Just the list of what we've got? We've
I
done
mean,
so
yeah.
many.
I mean,
recently.
do
I
you
mean,
want-
maybe not the whole list.
No, but just say
Let's
we've
not-
got a
let's-
few like
let's say that.
sketches. We've got a few just like vlogs we've planned out. A lot of like a lot of games we're gonna play together. Like there's a lot of
I
things.
honestly
And the
think-
porno, of
Yeah,
course.
no,
that's,
Oh, of course. That's the first one we're doing.
Yeah. Actually, the plan is I'm going to like get a helicopter and swoop it into the airplane before it even lands, and we'll film it live in front of everybody.
It's also a Nerf
pretty
one. He has a
epic.
Nerf gun too.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the
Oh, there you
video,
go.
honestly, I'm most excited for is actually. I know we just wrote this, and that's probably affecting me, but it's a date with Zach Chambers. I'm so excited to make that. It's gonna be an interactive video.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
make choices.
If you've seen
Ooh.
like a Markiplier, like you know how he does like interactive videos.
Or how Chris did interactive
Yeah, I was about to say,
videos.
you
No, but that
That hit
that's-
Terminator interactive game.
that sucked balls.
Thank you.
As a child, I
fuck?
could.
So it's like that, but it's a date with you.
Yeah, it's a
With
date.
Zach Chambers.
A date with Zach Chambers. That's right, and we go on a nice date together, and you get to pick the outcome.
Oh, that's
Fucking
cute.
Yeah, it's
lucky.
very nice, isn't it? And you
I
get
mean,
to
you're gonna
experience
be
it
on the
firsthand.
date then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everybody's
No,
gonna
I'm
be able to
third
go
wheel,
on
what do you
that.
mean?
Everybody can.
I just won't.
So-
I won't say a name. I'll just say you are. You're going on the date. I'm not gonna say. Yeah.
So is there an outcome where there's some fucky fuck?
Yeah.
I mean,
One of the
Zach,
options.
choose your
Yeah,
own
I'm
fucky fuck.
surprised.
I know.
I mean, this
Listen,
does implement the
Chris, we all
porno
wanna see it.
feature as well.
No, I was actually surprised. Zach, we were like, I guess we're not going to have an ending where there's sex. I was surprised we decided not to do that.
I mean, that should just be like sent to me.
I mean, maybe
you could make it
it's
really
like,
whole.
Maybe it's like
you
an Easter egg. Maybe you could like click like a small corner of the video, and then you'll get.
It's
that
like the shit in Club Penguin where it's like if you clicked one letter on the logo, you could buy a surfboard. Like you can, that's
You
the
could-
same thing.
You could actually
Behind
turn
a
it.
paywall.
You could actually turn it into something really wholesome where, like, if you are, as a player, selecting options that clearly will lead to sex, initially it's like, oh, things are working out, but then right before you're about to seal the deal, Zach is the one who says, like, you know what, I'm actually not ready for this. I've really had a wonderful time with you. Maybe next time. It's like, oh,
And then he
yeah,
fucking
bunch of
kills you,
lawnmowers.
and then he murders
Run
you.
him
Softly
over.
puts you down.
I thought you
And
were
then
about to go
everyone
on
gets
like a
run over
whole
by
family
lawnmowers.
like making process right
Yo, how
there.
did you know
Just
that's
like
the end of-
retiring.
You've read
The,
this.
the sequel is Making a Family with Zach Chambers.
I'm down for that. That's the next meetup.
And
then part 3 is retired.
And then the
Oh,
third.
actually,
No, part 3 is him
Chris, you're
leaving.
gonna
Yeah.
love this. We decided, this is gonna have to be a multi-meeting thing. Is this meetup I'm going to watch probably in theaters because they're re-releasing it where I live. What is it? Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring. And the plan is we're gonna watch all three in the. Because we realized very early on that there's not enough time in the meetup to watch all three. We don't have 9 hours of free time. So we were like, let's watch
God,
one
no.
of them in this meetup, and then like every meetup we'll watch another one.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Gotta wait.
It's a long term.
It's a long way.
Very, very long term and
Right.
very loose.
Yeah.
Shall I finish off my last question? It's not really long.
You fucking do that,
You
Mr.
said it
will.
earlier.
Fire
You said it
away.
earlier.
Buddy.
Right.
Editor, do not add this,
kinda
please.
No. It makes sense as well because we're talking
will
about
add
meeting up and how like that involves like it also involves a lot of money. It's a
Oh,
lot
I
of mo-
see. I see where this is going.
And if it's going this way, then I'm fine.
My attention is there.
Okay,
I'm
Zach
there.
Chambers is typing. This is great for the people listening at home.
Yeah, we're
yeah.
gonna have to
Oh,
add
boy.
this later, but we'll
Good news is we can edit this out. We can edit, not this entirely. But
Good job.
I did such a good. Good question.
I thought your question, because I see the photo of you, and I thought the question was going to be like, smash or pass?
I love that it's a demand
That
with
is
a
totally
question mark
the-
at the end. Like, it's just a demand.
Give me money.
Give me money.
Give me money. Bugatti.
Of course.
All right, so
no, I'm saying. Dale.
all right, so
Dale, it's time for your rapid fire, even though the slowest Tucker in the group. So go.
Just don't get your hopes
Okay,
up, Chris,
so-
with this rapid fire.
Okay,
all right,
so
after
like,
this fucking
because-
podcast is over. Holy shit.
Yeah, we're not even gonna have
Okay,
an
so
outro. As soon as he says the last question, the video ends.
Oh, God damn it. Okay, so
The video ends right now.
it was relevant before I was rudely cut off. But what the fuck is the monster in Abby's Monster? Is it even real?
Ooh, interesting. Yeah. Well, I actually had a draft of the script early on where I actually, on purpose, made it misleading whether or not the monster was even real to begin with. And that there was going to be a hint about the mom taking certain medication or whatever, and maybe she actually is like dealing with hallucinations. But then I kind of didn't like that because that's the cliche. Oh, a person is taking medication, so of course they have hallucinations or whatever the fuck. Blah, blah, blah. And then the main thing that really decided, like, no, the monster is for sure real, is originally after the monster turns into the different versions of Abigail, and then the mom goes over to tuck her in, and then the monster like holds her back and everything. That original scene was just basically the mom saying her normal shit, and I felt like it was missing that oomph, that like, oh, now shit is really serious. So then I added the twist that actually the monster knew Abigail was under there the whole time. So basically now we're understanding that the threat was never, oh god, is Abigail in danger, save Abigail. It's, oh, this monster was here for you from the beginning. The monster used your daughter as bait, and so it's got a whole new plan. And so yeah, the monster for sure is real. What is it? Like, how can it do what it can? Whatever. I don't know. I just leave it open to interpretation.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, okay, because one of my interpretations is that she didn't manage to kill the monster and somehow turned into the mother and is probably going to kill the child next. But yeah, that was just one
and
of
that
many
was
interpretations I
that
had.
was an interpretation I wanted people to have initially when watching the ending, because it seems too easy that she defeats this monster just like smashing it with a lamp and everything, and then she's hugging her daughter and she's like, I'm gonna be here for you always and always, blah blah blah, but the music is still like on edge and you're twisting around, you're like, and her eyes are closed, and I was hoping the audience would think, oh god, when she opens her eyes it's gonna be the black eyes, she's gonna be a demon, because that's how horror movies end. The horror movies always end with, psych, the monster is still real. And again, I'm trying to break these cliches. So I was like, I'm going to play on the fact that people assume this, but in reality, no. She actually did defeat the monster, and she is actually going to be there for her daughter. And it's like, oh fuck, a positive ending. Cool.
But like
In this
at
economy?
the same time, at the same time, the music wasn't unfitting, because just because like a traumatic experience like that happens doesn't mean like it's like all smooth sailing from there.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why
Yeah,
she just,
that-
her main thing is, I'm here. Like, I am going to be here now. It's not everything's normal, everything's fine. Like, yeah, they just went through fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're going to
And,
be
like,
there for each
is
other.
she actually going to be there? Like that's the like, ooh, what's going to happen next?
Yeah, something I've noticed, like with Abby's Monster, it made me realize something about a lot of your films, Chris. Like even going way back to like Knock Knock or whatever. I don't think this is like a repetition thing. It feels sort of like a lot of the subject matter in the films is sort of like something like being scary to you because it's like a reflection of you. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's imitating something that you
Yes.
know or care about. Like with Knock Knock, like the monster is just Chris, you know, like it's just you again, but it's just really creepy robot Chris. And and like that, I feel like that, like I guess some people will be like, oh well, you know, it's just because they couldn't do another thing or whatever like that. But it's also like that kind of is something that's scary, like that I feel like people kind of like it's sort of an underrated thing. But it's like seeing yourself is pretty fucking scary. Like and then you have like and We're Not Safe Here. It's not someone imitating like themselves or whatever, but it's like it's imitating somebody to get to, like there's a lot of imitations, I guess, like a lot of like like, and I think that's kind of cool, like that's sort of a theme that kind of goes out throughout.
Yeah, I never really realized that. I never like set out to do that. I think part of it is I have a lot of shit in my head that I want to explore and figure out, and I think that's where true horror comes from, is your own mind, because your mind, I mean, that's what makes things scary. You are afraid of what you don't understand. That's why everyone's afraid of the dark, because your mind comes up with the scariest shit imaginable there. So instead of me like creating this monster and having blood splatter all over the place, it's like, all right, what would actually freak me out? What would disarm me where I actually don't know what's going on and I'm like actually scared? And usually that's psychological stuff that should be normal, should be okay, but it isn't for some reason. So
Yeah.
that's
Side
cool.
note, also, Knock Knock is just like slept on. Like that's a good fucking film. I like that.
Sweet Dreams,
The shit
right?
with the camera, like the shots with the camera and stuff, with like taking the pictures, like that's pretty fire. Like that's like
Thank you.
pretty dope.
I think
Yeah.
my favorite video you've made in the past several years, well, maybe not years, but I don't know why I like it so much, is actually the behind the scenes of We're Not Safe Here. That video is really, really enjoyable. I don't know what it was.
Oh yeah, yeah, because the Sweet Dreams one, I really liked making that video. I was like,
Yeah.
this is really cool, and I think it's the logical step of what I should be uploading on my channel, because over the years I've tried to make things that I hope to get views, and now I'm accepting that I'm just not going to do that anymore, because YouTube is not what it once was, and I don't want to be a slave to an algorithm that doesn't understand me and I don't understand it. So instead I'm going to make what I think people would want to see who already know me, and I think these behind the scenes documentaries make the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all very thumbs up. Gold star.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
Dill,
So-
do you have any final remarks?
He has-
Any questions?
Yes,
Several
one
questions,
final
actually.
question. It's not. Yeah, there's two actually, but like one of them, I'll just ignore one of them. It's
Okay,
not,
so the final question.
So the final question has a short story. I gotta say it's short.
Oh, fuck.
So basically, this
it's not
involves
gonna
two
be
of
short.
my friends. We're gonna call the one Crook, and then there's also Hook. Don't question the names, by the way,
What?
Chris. So basically, back in the old days, me and my friends used to play PlayStation. Like used to play Minecraft on PlayStation 3. And there was this one point like where us three were together, and then Crook started talking about how Hook had imported all of the PlayStation 3 worlds onto the computer, and he told this like grand tale. He's like, "Oh, he found this program, and he fucking found all the files, and then he converted them into other files." And then Hook just interrupts him and goes, "I just dragged and dropped some files." And then I got the worlds on my Minecraft.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, the reason I'm telling you this is, if there's a way, if there's a way, would you be willing to upload the Deep Sheep world so people could download it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd do that.
Yay! Yay!
As long as it's
We're doing
not
it.
super difficult. I would probably need help doing it, but yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I
there's
have-
a way because
over
I've
your-
converted worlds that were on like the Bedrock edition, which is like the new console thing. Like I've converted worlds from that to Java edition.
You can convert it from Xbox to Windows 10 edition to Java. It's a three-way system and it works.
Yeah.
But I don't want to.
And I have a shitload of versions of the world too. I have versions, technically the current version, which is after season 2. I have versions in the middle of season 2, version before season 2, season 1, before season 1, before Ultimate Minecraft
my
Champion.
God.
Literally like the
Whoa.
base seed where like you spawn in the world. I literally loaded the seed, spawned, clicked save and exited, and I have never changed
Wait, this
anything.
was good.
Well, it's just, I love history. I love like
Yeah,
hanging
no, I
on to
get it.
all these little milestones of just like, hey, this is the season 1 version of the world. Hey, here is the most base version of the world, and this is what it turned into.
It's crazy that fucking Ultimate Minecraft Champion ended up being the one that had the Deep Sheep world on it, like the most random ass series. Like
I got a question actually. Have you guys played on the world since the end?
I think we maybe did a little bit, but we have not been on Minecraft in at least 1.5 to 2 years. We have not really played on that in a long time. The only times we ever really hop on to play games is like Master Chief Collection, or a few months ago we were really in a Black Ops Zombies mood, and Connor and Spencer were showing me Black Ops 2 Zombies because I'd never done that before, and that was fun.
Yeah, like I remember Chris doing the last like Patreon thing, when it was just me, you, and Dane the whole time. I remember you were talking about like, oh, I'll bring up the Deep Sheep world, and then you like tried to convert it over to like the Better Forever thing or whatever, and like
Yeah, it
the whole
didn't
world
work.
got fucked. Like,
Yep.
like it deleted a bunch of chunks and regenerated new ones.
Yeah, it was fucked.
I guess that's what happens when it goes from like 360 edition all the way up. I've actually seen a lot of videos recently on YouTube of people being like Xbox 3. It's just this random thing like Xbox 360 edition, the best version of Minecraft, and people make these like big
What the
videos
fuck?
talking about it, and that's kind of cool. Because it had like its own thing. You know?
Yeah, that was kind of the heyday, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. So yeah, maybe we can try and figure out a way to get the Deep Sheep world.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have it on the
Go.
Xbox One edition, so
Oh,
I think that's like the
That's
bare.
crazy.
I think that's like the bare minimum, right? Is Xbox One edition,
gotcha.
and so that'll be cool.
That
Yeah.
I
will be.
can't wait to blow everything up.
Luck's gonna get on and give everyone wieners, like he often.
I think
I would never.
We
do
used to
that.
do that. We used to do that.
See, I'm normal.
Yeah.
But
I'm.
We gave each other dicks.
Listen.
Daniel had a really large purple dick that like rotated around.
Look, I
We
like.
gave we gave someone a pussy and then fucked it.
Look, I like.
I
how
can't
you
help
like,
that my
Well,
penis
did
is
you guys
purple.
ever
Sounds
you
about
were
right.
you were like, I I didn't do that. And Chris is like, we did that. And you're like, see, I'm normal. Like, you're just waiting for
Sissy hypnosis is normal.
Chris, Dell's skin is like a guy made of cheese, and like literally on the
I thought he was a
statue
French test
perfectly, perfectly. There's a 2x2 block right on his crotch, like a 2x2 thing of coal blocks.
It's perfectly on
and
his
it's
cock.
perfectly on his dick. So it's like, how are you not gonna make a dick there? Like, how are you not gonna make a dick there?
Yeah,
I'm not a freak. I'm not a freak.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
normal.
It's funny.
But anytime
Perfectly
someone makes
normal
a dick there,
human behavior.
anytime someone makes a dick
To be
there,
fair, we gave him average
Dell's
size.
skin
Oh, good.
is like in front of mine, so when they make dick, the dick touches me. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like-
also make it go all the way to egg skin. That's another thing. It goes across the whole fucking map.
It's the
yeah.
bridge to their relationship.
Is there anything else to speak about? I mean, do you have
Anything else?
anything to
Last
say,
questions.
No.
Last
I
call.
got one last
I mean,
question.
Chris, do you have any questions for us?
I got one
Del,
last
did you not just
question.
hear MT?
Do you have cream for my bones?
So what's your last question, MT?
Who's your favorite We Cult member?
Oh.
Oh my fucking god!
Where does Alex work?
I don't.
He revealed that.
We've already talked about
And we
this.
were right the whole time.
I guess
I-
while we're on the topic of members, actually, is there any notable update for anybody in the group at all?
Nathan.
Oh, I think you were right on that.
We were gonna bring that up.
Censor that? Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you guys
censor
for
that.
watching. It's been very fun. Chris, you got
Thank
anything
you for having me.
Emmett is real depressed.
No,
Do I have
Is
anything
the-
to add?
Yeah.
Well,
Anything to say?
first of all, thank you for having me. Second of all, it is just very nice to see you all still hanging out together and still regularly hopping on Worlds. You talking about how you decorated the world for Christmas. That's really cool. Like, you guys still update stuff like that. You guys still hang out and do stuff together. And it's also really cool to hear that you're actually going to meet in real life, because that's a very magical experience that very few people get to have. Like, like when we were doing it, it wasn't like mainstream. Like, I truly believe meeting people online, becoming good friends, and then meeting in real life years later is what life will be like in the future.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just that we all have grown up on the internet since its inception, so we're just like the first ones to really do it, and I think it's really cool.
People that say online friends aren't real friends. Fuck you.
Fuck off!
That
Yeah, did you hear? Hard to I thought they fucking mad. No, I'm just-
What? What are you
so
saying?
I,
All right,
don't-
guys,
I
let's
don't
Chris,
finish this
Chris,
quickly.
you did the
'cause-
intro, so how about you do the outro?
I'm sorry, Mom.
And that's it. Subscribe.
All right. See you guys in
Subscribe.
2 years for the next one.
No,
See you
we're
guys
not
in
doing
2
it.
years.
Yes, we are.
See y'all 2000 never.
We'll see who becomes the next president.
Chris
Alright.
podcast number 4.
Yeah,
The Cops
we will see.
Awaken.
Yeah.
This has
We
been a
happen to
true
do
one.
we
Bets,
happen to
bets,
do these
gotta go to
during
bets.
political elections.
This
That's
is
somehow
weird.
lined
Yeah.
up.
We're all
Yeah.
dead tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Good night. It's
Good-
nighttime now. I
Yeah,
guess.
good night. I'm going to bed.
Bye bye.